one button. One button is all I had to hit, and I forgot about it. Anyway, I'm here now. I'm absolutely here now, and it's a bit of an interesting night tonight. And first of all, welcome everyone to episode 15. What do we call this one? Lockdown Live Cross. So it's going to be a little bit of a testing time to, well, maybe for me if I hit the wrong button again. But look, I'm sure we'll get through it. But tonight I've got one of my best mates, my hunting buddy, someone that's probably as passionate about hunting and just about everything he has a crack at. But just don't talk about the tigers, for Christ's sake, because I can tell you now, I just looked at the shirt he's got on. But are you there, Leigh?
How are you, mate? Of course I'm here. How good is this?
You had to wear that shirt. Mate, I put my ADA top
viewers.
on.
Look at that.
I put my ADA top on. I thought I'd be cold out here. Now I'm cooking. Anyway, so welcome again, everyone. And welcome, Leigh. It's hopefully we can get this to work. It seems everyone I'm sure will tell us if it's not working, but your audio's coming through. I think all right, mate.
Yeah, no, I should be good.
You're good. So anyway, I hope everyone is surviving this lockdown. But geez, there's a few people on. I could go through all of them here, but Khadijah's on as well. Game Trail Films, Steve. There's a lot of people that made an effort tonight to jump on. Gracie Gunfire and all the regulars. Dale J. Ian McKinn. Oh, what's he? Jeez. Revised roster. Good.
Is it?
Yeah, he's revised his roster, Ian, and he's on. A few on here.
Oh, that's good of him.
Paul Ayres. Cole, Mart Scully. G'day, all. Alexander, dinner made, dog fed, brew in hand, and ready to go. Well, I'm drinking water. What
Excellent.
Are you drinking, Leigh? I hope you're bloody only drinking water.
No, I'm off the terps for a little while, mate. No, I'm off the terps for a little while.
Matt Capper, Chris Nation, Steve Popey, Wayne Spiteri. Oh yeah, we all need some hunting therapy. Wayne Atkinson, g'day Wayne. Mountain biking. Blimey. Gav Boo Boo. Hey, from NZ. How are you, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Hold on. A few saying g'day to you. I don't know why, just because you're on.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good on them.
Go
Say that bloody bullshit. I don't know who
now
they
you've
are.
started them. Go Tigers.
Go.
Oh, no.
Give it up.
No.
One more game. It's all we need. One more game.
Righto. Well, we haven't got any questions. We've got no questions of you yet, Leigh. That's good. Pretty easy. But
I don't know why not, mate, because all is good here.
I know what I should be doing that. Nathan's on. Where should we be now, Leigh?
We should be hunting, Steve.
Yeah, but where would we normally be doing at this time of year? We'd be sitting around the campfire, probably having a nice quiet ale or two.
No, that's exactly right. We'd be watching a cook chook.
Yeah, well, that's the entertainment. We're pretty easily entertained.
Absolutely, And then we'd be thinking about what we're doing in the morning.
Well, COVID's changed our scenario there. So I managed to get up there for a week and then had to pull the pin. And Leigh just, he sort of didn't get the opportunity basically before the lockdown.
No, it was a bit of a mess, isn't it? It's a bit of a mess. It'd be nice if you knew you just go up somewhere and camp on somewhere privately, but to charge you to give you a fine for doing that stuff. Anyway, I'm over it now.
We've got to suck it up. We've got to suck it up. But,
exactly. Exactly.
All right, now I'll go straight into some of the questions. Now, the first question, and it's going to be about your lovely puppy, Melinda Braithwaite. How's April going?
It's April. Yeah, I thought you were going to name it Melinda for a second. It's definitely April. She's going good, actually. She's been out. I've been sending Steve a couple of videos of just things that we get up, just little antics we get up to, little training exercises and so forth, because I take her on a daily walk. And normally it's through wherever I can find a bit of bush that I can take a dog. So she's been chasing a bit of deer hide today, sniffing it out, and because I just walk somewhere and drop off a bit of deer hide, then bring her around into the wind, probably about 200 metres down, and let her find her way through the scrub and see if she can find it. So most times she's been pretty good. She's been putting up the odd fox and doing a little bit of pointing and stuff. So no, she's coming along really well, but it's just a shame that this has happened, because normally, as you say, we'd be up the Murray and
exactly.
and
this
she'd be
is
chasing those quail through those paddocks.
Oh, she loves that. Yeah. But this is the time that we'd normally be up. And look, she a bit over 2 years old now?
Yeah, about 2.25 years old now.
So she's at a perfect time. She's sort of really coming to hand now. I've noticed it in the last couple of trips we've been away. She's really starting to come to hand with hardly any sort of voice command. You've done really well with her. And like you said, you've let her had a puppyhood, basically, with a little bit of control.
Well, she's still a house too, Steve. That's the other side.
Mate, and she's
family pet.
And really, in relationship to her mother, like she's surprisingly smaller, isn't she?
Yeah.
Her mother is. It'd be probably almost 100, 150 mil higher in the back. So it's surprising how they can throw different ways. But she's just a good size. She wouldn't be much bigger than a Kelpie, really. Maybe a little bit bigger than a Kelpie.
No, probably. Well, I don't even think as thick a set as a Kelpie. Oh, well, no, she's as thick a set as a Kelpie. Leg-wise, she's about the same. Yeah, no, she's very close to a Kelpie size. Her size Kelpie, at any rate. No, she's a good pup. No, we love her to death here. So yes, it's a great dog. Yeah.
I'll just go through a couple more questions here. Matty Kappa, talking about the lockdown tonight. Good point, Matt. I agree. We're over it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Rob 14539. I'm deaf after the indoor 300 Win Mag, mate. Yes, I seen pics of that today, so that was quite interesting. I won't go down there. Wayne Spateri, good to see you, Leigh.
Yeah, same here, Wayne. It's always good to see me. I don't see you.
Reg Parker, Leigh, love for April to meet my boy who's a short-haired pointer.
Oh.
That's Reg Parker.
I don't know what.
I think Reg, mate, I think Reg is miles away. I've got a feeling Reg is overseas. Maybe I'm wrong here. I forget. There's so many people that contact us, but there's a few other people asking about the dog. Aaron Hewitt's on.
Well, she's going well. So there's no there's no secret to what she does. She eats well. She gets plenty of exercise.
You pretty much walk her every day for a good good run, don't you? Every day.
Yeah, no, she's pretty fit.
Yeah,
she's up there.
There's not much. There's not much.
Better than me, mate. I've decided to walk slower.
What do you mean you've decided?
So she gets more time to run.
But just getting onto that too, talking a little bit about you don't give her any proprietary meals, do you? You hand make every meal.
I make all her food. Yeah.
So can you go through a bit of the process of what you do? Can you go through a bit of the process?
Yeah, I can. It's pretty easy. I go down to the local market, go to the Asian butchers, and they sell hearts and livers. So I buy 10 hearts, a couple of livers, and come back and buy a whole heap of veggies, whether it be whatever's on special. It really doesn't matter, but I still buy the standard stuff like carrots and potatoes and cauliflower and broccoli and whatever's there. Anyone's throwing away stuff, I'll throw that in as well. Cabbages and God knows what, even just the leaves, whatever it is, anything to make up a veggie mix. Put it all through a mincer and with some garlic and put it in the freezer. That's what she gets every day. So, yeah.
And how big a portion would that be in weight?
600 mil. 600
grams?
600 grams. Sometimes it's depending on the mix, because some of the heart meat doesn't have a lot of fat to it. And I've noticed between batches that she'll actually drop a little bit of weight. So I tend to make some of the batches a little bit heavier that way. Like they might be 650. So they're nothing.
She's certainly looking good, mate. She's certainly looking good.
Yeah, no, she looked lovely in a wedding dress, but she'll never see it.
So no breeding?
No, no breeding. I think it's no breeding. Although she's not been spayed.
Yeah, I still have, not that you know of, anyway.
No, that's right.
All right. Now we've got another question here. This is completely different, but it's from Aaron B. Can you guys recommend a good starting pack for me to start reloading? Well, I know pretty much what I sort of recommend to everyone, and that's the RCBS
A
Rock Chucker.
CBS, yeah,
The Rock Chucker
yeah.
kit. You still got to get a few things, but
Mm.
realistically, the other option is just buy bit by bit second hand, because parts start, do come up. I think,
Yeah,
geez, I think my
yeah.
press is second hand. Your press is second hand, I think, too, isn't it?
Well,
as
mine's
well?
very second hand, Steve. Yeah,
like,
no, mine's
like the
very
user.
second hand. No, it's very second hand. The old Big Macs.
Yeah, but the RCBS Rock Chuckers, don't
Rock
ask
chuck.
me on price, but I'd say it's somewhere between $600 and $800, and that pretty much
Yeah, it
gets
was,
you going.
yeah, yeah.
All
I
right.
think Hornady for a little while came out with some good stuff too, but I hadn't tried it. I don't know.
Yeah, look, I think if I had my choice of reloading gear, straight up, I'd probably put Reading up with one of the
Yeah, yeah.
more
Well, some
the
of my stuff's
better,
ready. Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
better. Besides moving into the Forster and all the other stuff, but yeah,
Mm,
RCBS is good, but I wouldn't sort
yeah.
of go below that quality. All
I
right.
wonder what sort of reloading he's going to do.
Well, probably for a firearm would my.
You, fair call, Steve. Yeah, fair
Well,
call.
anyway. Luke Y. Lee, do you use a long line training or e-collar on the pup? I have a GSP. Couldn't
Yeah,
tire her out if I tried.
yeah. You can tire them out. You just long line and drag them behind the car. That they'll tire out eventually. No, I don't use an e-collar. Everything I do has been on a long line. I say that because now she's off that line. Although in saying that, only today I put it back on the long line, purely because there was a stage there I was using a small piece of deer hide that had some meat on it, because I just leave it in the fridge every night, put it back in there and start. As I was saying to Steve earlier, it gets a little bit rank after a while and I've got to go to another bit. But there's been a couple of times where she's wanted to eat it. So I wanted it on the long line because if I never had her close by, or at least I could get in touch with her, then there's every chance she'll just run off and swallow it because she's a bit of a pig. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but no, mostly on the long line. Yeah.
Well, I think, look, the electronic collars have got their place. Well, I think more so
Oh,
for
absolutely.
tracking. I'm not
Yeah.
a big fan of them, the zap collars sort of thing. I don't think you need to do that in most cases. Look, some dogs may need it, but majority of dogs that we've had, they usually come
Yeah.
to hand pretty quick. It's just a matter of keeping them
Yeah.
entertained, and
Yeah.
don't push them too hard too quick. That's my experience with
Exactly.
most dogs.
No, exactly,
So
Steve. It's like a young horse. You play with them for 12 months and put them out in the paddock
it's got to
for
be
some
enjoyment.
strange reason.
Yeah,
They come
yeah,
back as a 2-year-old and they know things.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, they do need it. Yeah.
All right, Matty
Yeah. So
Cato. Sorry, mate. Matty Cato
no,
here. I'm seeing foxes everywhere when driving around for work. Even had 5 fallow run out in front of me yesterday. Don't worry, mate. The only sambar deer I seen when I went away was 2 in the night, a stag and a hind crossed the road when I was driving up. And when I was coming home, I had 2, a spiker and a young hind cross the road when I was going home. I think it was meant to be. So, yeah, it
they're not
always
going
happens.
anywhere, mate. They're not going
Exactly.
anywhere. Yeah.
Exactly, but I
Yeah.
must admit, where we go, like a fair part of the area really copped it by the fires at Christmas, as both myself and Lee were up there. And one thing, the river up there is just, I've never seen it so bad, the Upper
It's
Murray.
shot.
Mate, it is
It's shot.
shot. And
Yeah.
it's going to take a long time to recover. So I think we need to all bear this in mind, guys. These areas that have been really affected by the fires, I think you need to really just assess the situation on the deer populations in the area and sort of hunt accordingly. That would be my tip.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Mick, hey boys. Having some issues with my 3006. It's being really inconsistent. I've tried multiple types of ammo. Take it you're talking factory ammo, and without knowing what ammo, what the rifle is, it's a bit hard, Mick. But
No.
yeah, look, if you've said you've tried all different sort of ammo, if it's inconsistent, there's so many possibilities here, mate, without me seeing the
There-
rifle. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say, look, bedding to start off with. Just make sure, pull it apart, check everything's tight, no obstructions, as in where the barrel's touching the stock and so on and so forth. But yeah, without seeing the rifle, a bit hard, mate. I wish I could give you more. Hold on. He's got 2 questions. Geez, Mick. Sometimes it'll group great, then others it will shoot flies everywhere. I've tried others shooting the rifle and it's still the same. Yeah, I checked the bedding to start off with. And if you don't get anywhere with that, then possibly get a gunsmith to have a look at the crown of the barrel. Again, that can often be a case. But look, start off with the basics first. All right, moving along. Bobby Dynamite 10. Good evening, gentlemen. Hey, mate. Richard Hatfield. Hold on. I'm going to scroll down a bit here now. Right, where are we? Alexander Thorling. I've got a dog, and you already answered my question about training. That's all right.
Well, think of another question, mate, because I'm sure there'll be plenty of them.
Tim Edwards. Hi guys, currently running a 3006 for Samba. I've been thinking of stepping up, maybe 300 WSM, 300 Win or 7mm Rem Mag. What are your thoughts? Well, they're all good. It's just a matter of what you want, you know. They're all going to do the job.
Why. I just ask why.
Yeah, very true. Very good point, mate. Yeah. Because realistically, unless you want to start stretching the ranges a bit, the 06 is going to pretty much do every sort of hunting scenario for Samba that you want, especially put 180 grain core locked or something in it, mate. You do your
You wouldn't want to be out in the paddock trying to catch them in your teeth. That's for sure, mate.
It'd be entertaining for a little while.
For a little while, yeah, that's right.
Chris Nation. No, he's just asking Mick a thing about his scope. All right. What's this? Matt Capper. I've got one of Ultimate Hunting Australia EPs, 11 months. Loves a hunt. Okay, I'm not 100% sure. EPs, 11 months must be a... Do you know what he's talking about there, Lee? I've got
EP.
One of Ultimate Hunting Australia's EPs, 11 months. Loves a hunt.
It sounds like it's a dog.
It's a dog, but yeah, I'm missing something here. Oh, that's right, Reggie
Is it
Parker.
meant to be GSP? No.
It might be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But sometimes the typos kill me.
Typos will get in there. Yeah.
All right. There's a few more boys jumping on. Yeah, of course, Reg. Yeah, I remember where you're from now. There's a couple of people that are in different locations with similar names. So, righto, here's another rifle question, Lee. And I don't know much about these, but they have intrigued me. What are your thoughts on the 325 or 325 WSM? Me personally, that caliber has sort of intrigued me. And I remember looking at one at the, I think it was a Winchester Extreme Weather when they first come out, because they were really cheap at something like about $1,200. But other than that, obviously it's a big caliber. It's going to hit hard and can put a big hole. So, do you know much on them, Lee, yourself?
No, not at all. No, I stick to a 308 and that's the end of me. Yeah. I hear of these other calibers and so forth, but I mean, what are you shooting?
No, it's true.
You know, I mean, a 35 wheel, and the other side of that too, Steve, is for someone my size and stature, I'd struggle to shoot something that gives a bit back.
But you can shoot from the hip like you normally do.
Don't start the swear jar. Don't start the swear jar. Yes, no, I don't know. No, but I think they're all good calibers, I guess. But you know, everything has its place. Really?
I think the biggest thing with there's a few of the WSM cartridges that are sort of taken off, like the 300, obviously, and some of the others have sort of played second, third, and fourth fiddle to them. The 325s sort of intrigued me, and I've actually thought if I was going to go to a big scrub gun, hard hitting thing, that may come into it. But again, you've got to weigh up how much your ammunition's going to cost, whether you're going to be able to get brass, all those sorts of things.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
300 WSM, you won't ever have any issues. 325 mightn't be, you'll get it, but it might be more expensive and maybe harder to get as well.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to go the COVID thing, but things might change a fair bit now too.
Yes, exactly. Critter, hi Steve, thanks heaps for the help the other day with the gun. It's shooting better than I'm aiming. No, a pleasure, mate. That was an easy fix. He just contacted me the other day. We had a bit of a chat. Critter. That's the same one. Sorry, Mick. Mick's got a Zeiss Terror on that 3006. Thinking of maybe changing the scope to fault find. I'm spacing my shots out with a consistent amount of time for it to cool. Yeah, check the bedding, mate, because it still should be shooting okay. Or just try, I don't know how many different types of ammunition you've tried. Righto.
Does he shoot his other guns well as well?
That's a good question. This is the thing, mate. Maybe there's something touch on something here. Obviously, we've got this live feed. It seems to be going all right so far. Maybe we might be able to get people on in time that can actually ask the questions live, as in either verbally or possibly even in video, if I can get this working down the track. So, all right, Stuart Carter. Hey, Leigh, have you made any safari-style slings?
I have. Somewhat limited. I don't get asked for too much in the way of safari stuff. A few ammo belts I've done, but the safari gear, I tend to stay away from that marketplace.
I think he might be referring to the sort of safari slings that slide over like Daz and that use. I might be wrong, but I think he's talking about those.
I don't know. Ask him. Steve.
Yeah, I'm sure, Stu. If that's what you're referring to, I can answer that question. No, he hasn't made those type. So, not to say he can't. So,
no, exactly.
Nathan Davies. G'day, fellas. Just after your opinion on the ELDX round you use in the 7 mag on Samba. Would you recommend it? Well, I use it, and if I didn't like it, I wouldn't use it. So, yeah, to answer your question, just got to find the right weight to suit your barrel and speed that you're running them at. The 162s seem to shoot well out of my 7mm, but mine didn't like the 175s because I tend to run them harder. But like Gav was on before, I'm not sure if he's still on, Gav Boo Boo, check out his channel, but I'm pretty sure he'll correct me here, but he runs the 175s and he's had some pretty good success with those as well. So look, realistically, there are sort of a later model SST. There's not much in it. Bullet placement, right speed, right hitting location, your animal's going down. Righto. Lee's, you haven't tried them in the 308, you just stuck with the SSTs, haven't you?
No, SSTs. I haven't. Look, in all fairness, it's I like the explosiveness of the SST because on the high shoulder shot, it's a great shot. In the head shot, it's a good shot.
Well, obviously we only take headshots when we're in a situation that basically we know we can put it in there, because in the end, I know a lot of people will commit and say, it's not the right thing to do, but realistically, it's going to be the most effective, quickest killer if you know your rifle and can be effective with that shot. Absolutely. But it's not something that we do.
500 metres. Yeah.
No. Right. Nathan Davies. Oh no, sorry, it's the same question. Aaron Hewitt. Lockdown had me reloading on the weekend. 7mm Rem mag in particular. How many rounds do you usually have sitting around waiting for your 7mm? I would have 200 and light a wallet. Well, it depends. 7mm, I don't tend to fire a lot of shots with it. And to be honest with you, probably setting it up was probably where you fire most of the amount of shots. Especially for me at the moment, I tend to carry the cameras more than I carry the rifles. So, look, to be honest with you, a box of 20 would probably just about do me a year, because I don't take many shots that I don't need to. So, when we're after meat, the rifle takes priority. But after that, the cameras probably do. Aaron Hewitt. No, I've asked the same question. Geez, I think I could be on top of this. Hold on. Here we go. I just got to, geez, it come up here. Loaded Dog. G'day, fellas. Please keep safe. Yeah, same to you, mate. Steve from Boxy here. Game Trail Films. He seconds a Rock Chucker kit. Yeah, it is. It's a good start. It's a pretty good package if you're going to go out and buy it new. Kay Parker agrees. Michael, hey fellas, been a long time. How are you? Well, I'm good. How are you going, Leigh?
I'm fine.
You awake there or what?
I'm cooking with gas. Yeah, this is interesting. I sometimes think you're making some of these names up.
Well, I know. I could. Oh, don't worry, you reckon I'm reading you out the real questions. I passed over the ones from Richmond supporters.
Yeah, go Tigers.
Right. Mark Stirlson got an RCBS partner kit back in the 80s and it's still going strong. Yeah, no, they're pretty good stuff. Matt Capper, I've done the Ultimate Hunting Australia training course. Best thing I've done. Well, I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of it. So I'd like to find out a little bit more from you over time, Matt. James Spiteri, hey guys, love what you do, just getting into deer hunting scene. Just wondering what you recommend for pack to rifle to scope. Thanks, stay safe. So in other words, I think he's basically just getting into deer hunting, Leigh, and he's asking basically what pack, what rifle, and what scope. So
yeah, it's pretty broad sort of question.
You can go first on this one.
Well, certainly you get a pack that's going to suit you and what your needs are. Rifle wise, well, that's up to the individual. Depends what you want to do. If you want to start shooting heads at distance, then that's a different story. And what was the other thing? He had rifle, pack, and scope. Well, geez. Well, one leads into the other, doesn't it? You don't have to spend a fortune on scopes, I don't believe, because you can buy a lot of scopes secondhand, Steve, that are still good quality. And geez, I've sort of shied away a fair bit from variable optics on scopes. Although I've kept
he is talking deer hunting though. So
I understand. Yeah, no, I understand. And look, most of your shots, what are they going to be if you're shooting out past 150, 200 for most of your shots? Geez, in the scrub, I don't think you're going to be able to see that bloody far unless you're shooting across.
The problem with those questions, and I've said this to people before, you got to be very careful about open-ended questions because deer is a very broad question. You've got everything from hog deer to sambar deer.
That's right.
So what's going to put a hog deer down? It's not going to minimum for hog deer. It's not going to put a sambar down. Well, it shouldn't. No. So realistically, if you want something that's going to shoot and take out everything from sambar down, look, your 38.6 is hard to go past. It's a bit of a stalwart of the sambar industry.
It is.
180 grain pill in it. What pack you get? Look, like Leigh said, it comes down to what really fits you, what your budget is. Don't count out second hand, but if you do, you'll probably have to beat me. So good luck with that. If a good one comes up. Scopes. Look, I'm very much one, as much as people sort of don't put a lot of money into their scopes sometimes, I sort of look totally the opposite. Good scope will last your lifetime. So, yeah, look,
it goes on many rifles, doesn't it?
It can, yeah. Look, I've burnt out 2 or 3 rifles in the same caliber, and I've swapped scopes multiple times. So, yeah, look, probably something I think I've covered this before, in the 2.5 to 10 range. You still want that wide field of view for general sort of deer hunting, and I've said it before. Watch you don't get too influenced by the sort of the target orientated scopes, because the lower, wider power is probably more important than the higher end. So yeah, I reckon come close to the minimum of sort of 4. Try and get down to 3, 2.5, and like with some of the Swarrows and that, now you get down to 1.7, and look, how quick you acquire your target. Well, you've got one of the 1.7s, haven't you? The 1.7 to
2.5, 10 nightfalls.
No. Didn't you have a 1.7 to 10? Was it you that's got the 1.7 to 10?
Don't think so, no.
Oh, okay. Well, if you have, you won't have it tomorrow when I come down to tell you. You won't miss it.
No. Look, I think the other thing too, just with optics on that, is that you really do need to think about not just what you're going to see. It's what light is going to be available for you to see in when your hunting's going to be hunting. Isn't it?
Exactly. And the higher the power, the more light it needs to. Otherwise it starts to fade basically. So yeah, look, that's right. I think the bottom end of your scope range for a deer hunting rifle is probably more important than the top end.
But thanks for your open-ended question, mate. It's a bloody goodie.
It's a good one. Steve's on the money here. Boxy's told us EP is an English pointer, of course. So yeah,
Okay.
see, I'm not up with these terminologies, mate. If it's not something to do with rifle, you know, the dog questions are all for you, brother. So anyway.
So does that mean his EP wants to go out on a date with my little girl?
Well, I don't know. Crossbreeding, I don't think it's. I think it might be frowned upon, especially in the
there'll
Vizsla.
be no breeding. There'll be no breeding.
Look out, Gav's
Good luck
got
to you.
Gav's got a question for you. Gav Boober, how are you, mate? It's good to see you on. I'm always trying to get out for a hunt. What lines are you go to tell the missus to get the green light? Asking for a friend, by the way. So in other words, how do you? Well, actually, we're very, very lucky because I think
It's not luck, Steve. It's talent.
it's either talent or our wives can't wait to see the arse end of us so the boyfriends can get a call. But no, we're very lucky, and it's even easier for us because both our wives go by the same first name, so we can't go wrong. And actually, Leigh had a little bit of a thing tonight. Yeah, he rang my wife instead of his, and my wife got all excited. So yeah, look, just. It's a balancing act, mate, and I think I know your kids are sort of on the younger end of the scale, and obviously, you know, it's a big part of life being a parent. But I think I'm sure you'd be involving the kids just as much, and I know you do a lot of diving as well. So yeah, usually it's just a matter of sort of, you know, I mean, finding that balance of not going away too much. And probably, like I said, sometimes I think my wife's quite happy to get rid of me for a while. So,
but just on that too, you know, if he could include his wife in the hunting, and make it into a game, and let her win, I reckon he's got it made, mate.
All right, hold on. We got a question here for some leather gear, and we haven't talked about this yet. We will move on to it later on. But Mountain Biking Australia, is Leigh interested in doing a new leather scabbard for my K-bar knife? I take it he's talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely am.
Well, look, what I'll do.
Yeah,
are you happy for me to put your email address up here at the end?
Put my phone number up, Steve. I prefer to speak to people if I can. I don't have a problem with
what I'll do, I'll put the email up in the description. I probably should have done that beforehand, but I'll put the email address and you can contact him that way. And probably better too, then you can ring him from there on. But what happens then is he's got records of it as well. So
yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm happy to help you out with the knife scabbard, mate. That's not a problem at all. Anything like that. Yeah. We can talk about the details.
Yeah, put it this way, mate. One thing with Leigh, he uses good quality leather. Look, most of your leather is Italian sort of grade. It's not sub-grade.
Well,
stuff.
Well, most of it is oil tanned, so it's not going to react with your brass and so forth that you may have there. And it's mostly double shoulder because I find the double shoulder stuff is well, for one, it's easier to work with. It lasts. It's very durable. It's very well tanned. Between the German and the Italian stuff, and it has a very nice patina about it after a while. And I say this because, you know, you can go and get veg tan and you can dye it up and do all these different things with it, but I tend to stay away from dyes because they tend to dry.
Well, they leach out too, don't they? They leach out.
They do. They can do. You can seal them. I know, and a lot of people talk about different sealers, but I tend to stay away from all of that. I do all the handwork myself. I don't tend to use much in the way of dyes or sealers or any sort of antiquing and so forth. They look good on the shelf, but they don't wear
your
that.
Stuff is just good old school techniques from what I've seen. So,
that's all I know, mate. It's a basic gear.
Very practical.
I try to keep it that way.
Yeah. All right, Steve Popey. Leigh, I want Robbo to make a blooper video. No, we've got a road. We actually just looked at a couple of those the other day. No, we'd be kicked off YouTube. I can assure you.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be put on YouTube, would it?
No,
it wouldn't survive.
Yeah, I know. All right, I'll move just up here a little bit. Geez, there's a few on here now. We'll have to move along a bit here. Dustin Holmes, what would you suggest for a good varmint target round for 243, 1 in 10 twist in the rifle? You can go first, but I think I know what you're going to say. 243, what? 243 varmint target round. What projectile would you choose?
Yeah, an 87 VMAX. Just look, I could have it on my breakfast.
How did I know he was going to say that? I knew he was going to say that.
Oh, geez, I wish we had a few targets to send them at the moment.
I know. I was just talking to someone the other day regarding this. Hopefully, after our little bit of a lockdown, I know I've mentioned it again, I'm hoping spring is going to be generous to us as far as the bunny population, because I miss getting the Big Bertha out and sending a few 87s, because 87 grain VMAX are hard to beat. They just have good balance, the ballistic coefficient, knockdown and wind bucking. That's hands down my favourite projectile.
Yeah.
Darren William Sweeney. G'day, Leigh, Steve. Give me your number months ago. I need 2 slings. Darren must have contacted you. Again, Darren, I'll have in the end, I'll put up in the description Leigh's email, but otherwise, probably Messenger or whatever.
Messenger's fine. Yeah. I don't mind. Either way.
Omar Badrovic. Hi there, boys. Good to see Elton John on show.
Still cracking the head. Don't worry. I don't get on here very often.
Nathan McKnight.
That's why it's called hide in the grass. You know. It's why it's called hide in the grass.
Nathan McKnight or McKnight. Thinking about a 26-inch barrel on my Seiko 85 synthetic stainless in 300 WSM. Current barrel is about done. Do you think a similar contour barrel in 26-inch will have a big impact on balance? It's just a sporter, I take it. I can't see anything there. No, I don't think so. Realistically, that would be a 24, close to 24, so the 2 inches longer. The only thing you want to do for a hunting round is maybe move your sling swivel up the stock a bit so the rifle sits lower on your shoulder, or lengthen your sling. Other than that, I think you'll only be a bonus. Any Magnum cartridge, possibly not the WSMs as much, but any of the 7mm Rem Mag, 300 Win Mag benefit from a 26-inch barrel, in my opinion. So, Stuart Carter. He's going back to the safari sling. Yeah, mate, the safari sling style like Daz uses. I got the Morocco sling, but I think a leather one would be great. I don't think you've looked into those at all.
No.
They're a different style. They're basically, they go over there and your rifle sits underneath you. So not to say that you couldn't look into it, but
no.
I think, to be honest with you,
I can make them. I just need a bit of an idea of what they look like and how they size up.
Yeah.
That's the important part. Yeah, because everyone's different, unfortunately, especially when you get into things that are carrying it at a hip height, adjustments. Yeah. Well, you need to have the design right. It's very important to get the design right on these things.
Well, Rob's put a fair bit of time in down at Morocco 30, coming up with a similar sort of style. It's different again to the traditional type, and I actually think he's on a bit of a winner there. And in some cases, sometimes there's a place for a leather sling and sometimes there's a place for a synthetic. And personally, I think in this scenario, with the straps that have to go down beside the stock and whatever, I think you're probably better off with a synthetic. That's just my opinion on it. Oh, look out. Dave's on. Hunting a ret. Great point, Leigh.
G'day, Dave.
Great point, Leigh. Match the bullet performance to where you aim, what cartridge you shoot, and the ranges you shoot. Was that your point? I thought that was mine. He's giving you credit here. What's going on?
I'll take it. I don't often take credit, but I'll take that.
Righto. Luke Y. Thoughts on that? The fact gun shops can't sell ammunition with the lockdown, though they'll sell cases, projectiles, primers, and powder. Look, Luke, whatever we think, this is just me speaking here, but whatever we think doesn't really matter. Mate, let's just get through it, get back onto it as quick as possible. And to be honest with you, I just think the whole thing was a knee-jerk reaction. That's it in a nutshell from me.
Yeah. I could add a little bit to that, and that is that it's a lesson learned. I don't think there's all negatives that come out of this COVID thing. I think the writing's on the wall that for a lot of guys, if they've only got a box of 20 cartridges and they want to go shooting and they find the box has only got 6 in it, and they don't have a spare box, then,
Yeah, I know.
lessons there, fellas.
But some
Give yourself a bit
states,
of stock.
have limitations on how many rounds you're allowed to keep in stock now. You might not be
think
aware
40
of that.
too many. Yeah.
Well, mate, who knows? Dave's answer. Don't give me that many hints. They might be missing something. Hunter James. Hey, fellas, what are your thoughts on the 22 mag? Well, actually, it's a good timing, mate, because I've actually thought I used to have a 22 mag, and what let down the 22 Magnum years ago, and I'm talking sort of 20 plus years ago, was the ammunition. Inconsistent velocity variations, the whole lot. It was pretty average. But now I think they've improved it, and there's some pretty good rifles coming along. But you haven't had much to do with the 22 mag, have you?
No, nothing at all. No, 22 rimfire, that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I possibly looking into some. I may set up a night vision setup, and the 22 mag sort of, because most of the night vision stuff is sort of sub 200 yards. It's sort of been, I've been thinking about it. So yeah, definitely the ammunition's improved. What?
With all your operations on your eyes and stuff, do you really need a scope for night vision? I thought that was part of the op.
Well, I wish with all the money it's sort of cost me in operations, I think I should be able to at least go like the bionic man, get at least you could come up beside me with a bung 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 bung, whatever the noise. What we got? For God's sake. Dave's come up here again, hunting a ret, go Tigers. Leigh is the new Tiger King. He doesn't even know. He's a New South Welshman. He doesn't know.
Don't relate me to that Tiger King thing. I've watched a couple of episodes of that. I'm sorry. I couldn't go any further, Dave.
Here's trouble. Matty Webb's on.
Is he? Good on him.
How are you, fellas? Great seeing Leigh on there. Where's the sausages? Hey, he had some of my sausages the other day, and they were good, weren't they, Matty?
Yeah.
No, he's
telling me his sling's in the mail actually today.
Oh right, there you go.
I sent him a sling, yes.
Oh, that's all right. Bobby Dynamite 10. It's good, mate. I used one for years on small game. Well, I probably forgotten what he was talking about, but that's good to hear anyway, mate.
He's talking about the 22 Magnum.
Was he? Oh, good. You've got a good memory. I've got a shocking one.
Yeah, I think so.
Seth Humphreys, just getting into deer hunting. I'm in Wombat State Forest and it's not known for too much deer. You boys ever been around that? Why, yeah, I have, but not hunting. There's a few fallow and that up that way, and I think there's a few salmon. But mate, look, to be honest with you, anywhere there's forests at the moment, I think if you look hard enough, you'll find deer. Zach Roberts. How are you, mate? Hey, boys.
G'day, Zach. How are you,
mate? We'll have to catch up soon, brother. Gracie Gunfire. Camping gear question. Lee, this should be good for you because you're of the camp.
I'm not camp, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I knew you'd say it. I knew it was
camping
coming.
Gear question. Swag, tent, stretcher tent, camper trailer. What do you guys prefer? And any tips on the best setup of comfort and setup ease? Oh, there's a very broad question.
Well,
you go for it.
I'm
Lee.
ready to go. I'm primed. Primed.
You're up.
I love my swag. I've always put a cover over the top of it, and I don't mean the cover to put it in and cart it around. I'm talking about just a fly of some sort, whether it be a tarp or a tarp of one sort or another, canvas or poly. I love them. And I've always put a ground mat underneath my swag. And
you look after
they're just a
swag.
microclimate to me.
Well, what are our brand swags again? Jolly Swagman, aren't they?
Jolly Swagman. They're great.
They are good.
They're bloody
They are good. One of the better swags. I've got the bottom end model. He's got the primo.
Yeah, you got the derelict model.
If the hat fits.
Well, that's how I see you go into it every night.
Yeah, I know. The swags are hard to beat, especially nowadays. The modern ones. A key thing though too to remember with the swags. A traditional swag, basically the canvas laid on top of you. And in that situation, you'd have to have a sort of an artificial sleeping bag, as in if you were to put down in that sort of bag, it's not going to work. The other thing to keep in mind too is some swags, you can get a bit of condensation in them. And again, you're sometimes better off with the a good artificial bag instead of the down. Otherwise, for me, down sleeping bag every time. Stretcher tent, never try one. I don't think I'd sleep in one. I think,
Stretcher tent.
Yeah, like, the ones
like glam camping. Is that what you mean?
No, like the what should we call it? The hammocks. That's what I'm thinking. You're talking about. Yeah, no, not my.
Sure?
The Hennessy hammock, stretcher tent. Well, what else would be? I don't know.
No, you could fall and hit the ground. What would you want to elevate yourself for? Although ants do pose a problem, don't they?
Yeah, I know. Righto. Ryan Gribrock. G'day, boys. What do you recommend? A 30-30 for a stalking gun? No. 30-30's a pig gun, mate. That's about it. For me, I've never been a fan of the 30-30, but pig shooters love them. Yeah. Andrew Allam. Hey, Robbo and Leigh, have you been overseas for hunting? If yes, where? No.
No.
That's it. No intention
We've got good hunting here.
Yeah, exactly.
Overseas has bears in it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Everyone complains about our snakes and whatever here, but I tell you, I've never had an issue with snakes ever.
No.
I can run reasonably quick when I have to. So
just as long as you don't run into one.
Look out. Robin Cake is up here. I have a couple of Leigh's leather products, some well-made gear for everybody. How is the best way to contact
I think they were the condoms I did for him.
Yeah, or the arseless.
I don't think they worked.
Chaps.
He's got 3 boys. How are you, Robin?
Yeah, good to see you online, mate. Good to see you online. Look, I have to stick my earpiece back in. I won't hear lethal.
Another good tiger.
Oh, yeah, no, he's the one that's sort of put you up to it, I think. Jamie Sullivan. Hi, guys. Been hunting sambar a couple of years with relative good success, but curious to know what your techniques are when working a game trailer. I think it means a game trail. Well, slow and steady wins the race, as I've always said. Basically, don't be in a hurry to get from A to B. That's what's worked for me. And probably as you get older, you slow down. What do you think there, Lee?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I like the slow and steady approach. Absolutely. It's the old Indian thing, though, isn't it? Walk a few steps and look a long time.
Listen, smell, use all your senses. It's as simple as that. There's no hurry. Just slow it down. If you think you're going slow it down a bit more, because it'll be time, sometimes 20 metres from the car is where you'll see the first deer, and it might be the best and only deer you're going to see for the day.
Not only that, you also give yourself a lot more time to see sign that you may have missed.
Yeah, exactly. And the good thing, like normally, look, if we go into an area, we pretty much hunt very similar when we're stalking. So we pretty much at the end of the day or wherever we're going, we sort of come up with a plan and we got a rough idea where each one of us are. And by the end of the day,
especially when we're holding hands.
Yeah, well, that's usually only at the beginning of the day. That's never on video.
No, you're right.
Different channel.
We hunt very. We hunt very similar, don't we?
Yeah. As far as pace goes, I've got
very much.
dodgy legs, mate. So anyway, let me quickly read through here. Aaron B, can you guys recommend a good set of binos for under $500? Leigh?
Look, I would have said the Nikon Monarchs. I don't know. I don't even know how much they are because I'm so stuck with the Swaros. But I would have said that they were probably close to that money. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you how much they are.
They'd be around that. Stick with a name brand. That's all I'd say. But 500 really brand new, you don't get much. And to be honest with you, go on. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, mate. I should just say, why is he looking at brand new?
No, I say that.
And you might pick something up if you're patient enough.
Yeah. No, look, second hand, you might get a good pair for $600 to $700, and that's $600 or $700 that you'll never regret spending. The $500 you spend on a cheaper brand brand new, realistically, is almost money I won't say thrown away, but it's money that's not going to be well spent long term. Just my
That's
opinion.
another one of your open-ended questions too, because for deer hunting, is he talking about close stuff or long range, or can be a bit iffy.
Look out. SSCN. Robbo, any thoughts on bigger calibers? Very open-ended question, mate. Look, just choose the right caliber that you can handle, you can shoot straight, you can group well, and is going to be the right choice for you on the selected target. So if you can handle a big caliber, you can put it in the right spot. Well, go as big as you, whatever suits you. But me personally, I don't see the need. Sometimes, I think people get calibers that they really can't get the best out of because they just can't shoot them. So
no.
Look out, here's trouble. Maroka 30 TV, Rob's on. We're in trouble. We're in trouble now. Hey boys, good to see you. I need you to make that guitar sling one day, Leigh.
I don't know why he wants it. I've heard him sing and play. I'm only kidding, Rob. I'm going to have to take this top off in a minute. I'm going to have to go. I'm bloody boiling easy.
in here.
Just go easy.
Yeah. Into the mountains. Oh, they're both here now. This is trouble. Daz is on. G'day, Robbo. Good to see you too, Leigh. Love this format.
They're in the red.
Shit, you're going to be busy after this, Leigh. About time. He needs to get his leather gear.
I'm busy
happening.
now.
He's
busy
He's
now.
always busy.
Yeah.
Look out. Mel's on. Mel Braithwaite. Couples that hunt together stayed together. Hey, Stuart Carter.
Yeah,
I'm not going there. I don't know about that.
No, I was going to say most of those couples that hunt and stay together sleep together, but we've hunted together for a long time, Stephen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It ain't going to happen.
And shit, look at his trouble too. Jimmy's on. Shaz's brother. He makes good leather. He makes good leather, he reckons. How would he know? What are you made for him?
I don't know.
Oh, look at
Some
his.
people are just here to taunt us.
His trouble as well. AHP Outdoors. Jason Selms, we had a bit of a chat the other day. Now he reckons I'm going to buy a 22 mag. No, I'm showing restraint. No need. I'll have to move it along here a little bit, Leigh. The bloody questions are piling up. Dale J.
Good.
I rate Leigh's leather gear. Gets my recommendation. There you go.
Oh, you're a good man.
Good on you,
He's a
Dale
good
J. Mountain Bike Australia. Thanks, boys. K-Bar, my original combat knife, now 34 years old. Scabbard, unfortunately, not so healthy. I can understand that, mate. So,
just tell him to send us the old scabbard and we'll have a look at it, or send us some photos and we'll sort it out.
Well, like I said, we'll put the email up at the end. I should have done that before.
No, that's all right.
All right, Matty Kappa. What's your case prep when reloading? I just deprime, full length resize. Do you bump shoulder and all that, or keep it simple when preparing cases? I have talked about this a little bit before and actually put a video up how I choose whether a full length size or just neck size, and there's actually a video on the channel regarding that. Otherwise, I leave the primers in while I'm tumbling so it doesn't get in the primer pocket holes. Other than that, depends whether it's long range stuff, whether it's just hunting rounds, depends what caliber. Some calibers, like for argument's sake, the 222 was, almost got to the point where the right powder, you can virtually pour it in, scrape it off and put a projectile in it. It's that forgiving, but not that you'd ever do that. So it depends on the purpose, but look, keep it simple and keep it the same. Leigh, you've got some fancy bloody reloading gear. You've got one of those power buddy deburrer things.
Oh yeah, I like those. I'm not multi-skilled, mate. So I do one thing. So I full length size, and that's about me spent. That's enough. Do they shoot all right?
Yeah, as long as you put the right ones in.
I have my moments.
Oh, look out. Stuart's agreeing with Mel. That's the first good thing you've done there, Stuart. Agree with Melinda. All right. Key to one. Marty's on. G'day, gurus. It's Marty Phillips is on. Key to one.
Yeah.
Look out. Edge of the Outback. Nathan's here. What's his name? Aaron B. Have a look at the Maven C series binos in 8 or 10 by 42s.
Okay.
Both Dave and Nathan have sort of had a fair bit of experience with these Mavens. I've only just looked at them in the shows, and they've been pretty happy with them, and I know they're not the only ones. So it's good to see another player in the market. For me,
I've never heard of them, Steve. Where are they from?
oh, you're asking the wrong person. I think they're US based, I think. But
Are they?
yeah, I actually, the boys will correct me here, but I think the actual importer might be in WA. I
Oh,
have met
okay.
him, and I feel bad now that I can't remember. But for me, I find it. Look, it's a overall package for me, and that's why I always stick with Swarrow. Swarrow
Yeah.
has just been Hannes and the boys up there have just been bloody fantastic.
Oh, very good.
But then
Yeah.
again, if I was to pick one scope over the period of my shooting life as my favourite brand, still Carl's. You knew it, and don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not going to say.
They're not a bit lemony, I can tell you.
You don't look after your gear, that's
oh,
why.
well, yeah, there's a good chance of that. All right, here we go. What are we up to here? Game Trail Films, go Steve. I love Lou's leatherwork. Have a custom sling, knife scabbard, and 12-gauge belt made to last a lifetime. He can stamp names, etc. Would have made great gifts. Yeah, look, they are lifetime sort of acquisitions, and to
Yeah.
have
Where can you,
where can you go to have something custom made now? And the stupid thing is, he doesn't charge enough. I can tell you now, for what you get, mate, you get very, very good value for money. So, yeah, I can second that one there, Steve. Rick Fletcher, good on you, mate. Jeez, boy, Jim, what rum? I know, Jim. I should. Brother-in-law Jimmy's asking me. I'm red, mate. What have you done to me?
you are red.
I know. Turn the light off, maybe. Here you go. How's that? Is that better? Less red?
Oh, jeez. Now you're starting to look like Will Smith. Even the dark.
What's your thoughts on open iron sights for deer hunting? Sambar and fallow. Walking, not so much glassing and longer shots. I feel they'd be enough, but it's a fair step as I'm having the rifle built. What's your thoughts on open iron sights for deer hunting?
I can tell you they're not mine.
No, there's a modern thing called a rifle scope, and
or an aim point. Or an
well,
aim point.
I must admit, one scope that's really, really impressed me, and might be a bit of a trade-off here for what you're looking at, is the scope that I got off Ben, which he did have on his Black Bear, is the Carl's, was it the Helia 5, I think it is, the 1 to 5 red dot, and that is absolutely brilliant. On one power, it's just like an aim point, with the option of basically being able to crank it up to 5 if you want to take those longer shots. Very, very impressed with that. And that's on my combination gun now, the 243 12 gauge.
Yeah.
He's just added here, it's most likely going to go on a 30-06 or a 35 Will. Well, that scope I've just mentioned, and I think Swarrow do, and I think the boys have said Loophole would actually do some fire dots or whatever in the lower end as well, if you don't want to spend that sort of money. But that little 1 to 5, and I think it's actually been superseded now by 1 to 6. Definitely look at that, Carl's. Mate, it is one of the best optics I've ever used.
Yeah, that is a nice little scope, isn't it?
And like I said,
Oh yeah, it suits that rifle beautifully too.
Oh, it's good.
Mm.
Fox Whistling. Evening, boys. How are you, mate? Rick Fletcher. I read today the ammo limit is 1 year's worth, up to 10,000. Okay.
Really?
Look out. Here's trouble. Considine's on. Hey, boys. Sorry, late arrival. I don't do late. Is that a little bit of a dig there? I think he might be having a little bit of a crack there. Chris Nation. In regards to the gun ammo ban, there's a link on Osgun Sale website in regards to it. Very interesting indeed. Might have to have a look when I get a chance, mate. PK Gold in hunting. Better off with a 17 nowadays than a 22. Again, very open-ended question. Are we talking 17 HMR, 17 Remington, 22 Magnum, 22 Rimfire? Yeah. They're just hole diameters in the barrel. What's behind it makes all the difference. So Yeah, open-ended. Really can't
Yeah.
help you there. But yeah, look, to be honest with you, I've never been a massive fan of the 17 in most. Even when we were shooting heaps of foxes years ago, the 17 rems, mate, they were more disadvantaged than they were ever an advantage. And I think the only thing made them an advantage was
their size.
the projectile. I think.
Diameter. Yeah,
Hold
exactly.
on, Lee.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
lost your
You just didn't
audio.
want it.
What's
Yeah,
going on? Hold on, mate.
I don't know why.
Hold on a minute.
No,
Hold on.
you've turned me off.
Back on. I must have got a spike. I lost your audio. It's not your end. It's all
Yeah,
good, Lee.
yeah, no worries. Good, because I've only got one job, and that is to mute myself. No, I didn't do it.
No,
but the 17 was only there as a fox pelt rifle, wasn't it?
Pretty much, and it was the little 25 grain in the 17 Remington was a proven thing when we were still shooting 222s with sort of 35 and whatever. But a different scenario now. Projectiles have changed a lot since that rifle cartridge was developed. Grant Miller was waiting for this. Lucky Rob shared it on Beyond the Divide, otherwise would have forgot. Oh, I don't know if you're lucky, mate. You have to put up with us too. So, Aussie Kelpie, speaking of 22 mag, I've not long ago brought a Ruger 96, which is a lever action and rotary mag, and it is great. Well, the Rugers, I think that rotary mag they had ever since the 1022 was one of the most reliable rotary mags that I ever saw. I've never had one jam. I had a 1022 semi-automatic years ago. Wasn't the most accurate rifle, but geez, I tell you what, it never jammed. It was really good. But so great design, and very agricultural sort of firearm, which does work quite well. Richard Hatfield, mate, talking about swags, how do you keep the cold from coming up from the bottom for the old bones? Here you go, Lee.
Well, I've always laid a mat out. Not a lot in it. You'll catch up to me.
No, I'm not.
That's wishing you well there, Steve. If you catch up. It's one of those things I've always, and it was mostly just to look after the swag more than anything. But I found that it was easier just to put a tarp or something down. It doesn't necessarily stop the cold, but geez, I don't suffer it in the Jolly Swag. They've got a dual layer foam insert in them, and I don't really get cold from the ground, to be honest with you, Richard.
No, well, I would say if you think you're going to go into a really cold environment, and you've got a swag that actually has, is actually propped up by the sort of fiberglass rods and whatever, you can always chuck in one of the air mattresses with the fill, whether it's a synthetic fill or whether it's sort of the down fill. And to be honest with you, one of my favourites, I know they had some issues, but was the one that was recommended to me by Dougie Reed years ago in the Xped, and I run the 9LW, so it's 9 centimetres thick, it's long and it's wide. And look, they are hands down, that type of thing, you don't have to have that brand, but that type of thing in the cold environments, mate, it's unbelievable. That and a good down sleeping bag where you can use them. Otherwise, buy the best artificial bag you can, and you'll be fine. And the swags themselves, Lee, you always find when you open them up in the morning, it's like there's a 5 degree up to 10 degree difference in temperature, isn't there? Like,
my word, there is. Yeah, my word, there is. I do particularly like mine because it does have the open end, so it does allow that airflow, but you can regulate that. Yeah. Most of the time I regulate it with a bit of a scon cap, but because the precious end gets cold pretty quick.
I'm just going back over a couple here. Now, Darren's saying Oz tent, stretcher tent are good. E-bike mounting, stretcher tent will be a tent cot type. I think it's like what Robin Coker uses, those sort of things.
Okay.
I'm not a fan, but I think it comes down to what brand you get though as well.
Yeah.
I think Robin Coker's come on here. He said leather condoms. I think he wants some, but apparently we don't make them small enough. Is that right?
Oh, you won't need many. They're
Sorry, mate.
They're not reusable. They're not reusable. You'll be right.
Geordie81, hey guys, love your work. Just wondering your average pack weight for a 2 to 3 day hunt. Too heavy and not light enough. 2 to 3 day. 2 to 3 day. The last time I did that was probably I actually used my vest and probably talking around 20 kilos, depending on whether we've got to carry water. But I think a 2 to 3 day hunt, depending on where you're going, what you're carrying, you should be able to keep it well under 20 kilos. Water is always your issue. You agree on that one, mate? No.
Oh, I hardly carry anything like that. My pack's heavy enough every other day.
Yeah,
I don't do those 2 or 3 day stints.
No,
not anymore. I used to go down Tassie doing a fly fishing, but I don't do it anymore. I can't keep it up.
Why not?
I've
heard that.
Keep it nice. Keep it nice. No.
Chris
I don't tend to do that.
Chris Murley at Hunter J. I love my 22 mag. Plenty of good ammo choice now, and we'll drop a fox easily at 100 metre. Yeah, Chris, I think the 22 mag's been reinvented with some of the new ammo, to be honest with you. Bradley Moore, g'day guys, great to be here again. G'day Brad. Where are we up to? Dustin Holmes, have you heard of outer edge projectiles or seen anyone else using them? Just curious because I saw them on a projectile warehouse. You heard of them, Lee? I think I've heard of them. I've heard of them, but no, nothing of them.
No. Geez, I thought you were going to say Dustin Martin for a second.
No, I never mentioned the name of a Tiger player. Not unless it's in vain. So, righto, here we go. Robin Coker, bigger caliber rifles. I highly recommend to test shoot them before you buy. And if a lighter hunting style rifle, some are hard to hang on to. Yeah, definitely. If you're going to go over the heavy hitting calibers, you definitely want a bit of weight in the rifle, unless you're prone to be someone that wants a muzzle brake. But yeah, look, I think they can be avoided in most cases, unless you can handle them. No need for it.
No.
I just don't enjoy shooting them, to be honest with you.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you don't shoot them that much either, in all fairness.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
You know, it's not like you're going to run off heaps of rounds like you would chasing foxes.
Yeah, very true. But I know a lot of the guys that have these sort of big calibers often sort of put their money into a lead sled as well, which I'm not a big fan of them either. I've seen a few rifles damaged for those over the years. All right. Wayne Spiteri, look out, you're in trouble. Lee, you keep on mentioning second-hand optics. What sites or companies are there in Melbourne, please? Oh, get out of this one.
Oh, geez. All the second-hand stuff that we've seen, well, Facebook would be one these days with their marketplace. You might find something there. Word of mouth through clubs is another one. There's always someone who's bought something for one reason or another, can't use it, hasn't used it a little bit, but still wants to sell it. So I think, I don't want to sound too rude about this, but I think it's sort of,
Melbourne's the issue. Melbourne is the word that's the issue. Don't count out your old cash converters either, mate. I've done all right there over the years.
You've stripped a few, haven't you?
Yeah. So
ask Constantine about them.
Well, he's come out all right with those in the end.
He's a recipient. So, yeah.
So
yeah.
Just to bring that up now, I actually bought 8x32 Leica BNs, virtually unused, bright orange, for just over $500 or $600 or whatever, and just got to be quick. Like I said, you've got to beat me. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sammy
but even
James.
the gun shops, even the gun shops still have second-hand gear.
Yeah, but their prices usually reflect it though, Lee. They've got to put their markup on it, which is fair enough too. So
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, but it does bring the price of a new item down.
Yeah,
it's not out of the world, but it's better than not asking for a discount.
Well, true. Sammy James, Aaron B. I use Vanguard Endeavour 4 Mark 4 8x42, great quality optics and brilliant in low light. Paid $600 for them, brand new. Absolutely brilliant. Well, there you go. Sammy does a bit of hunting, so he obviously thinks they're pretty good. Maybe worth a look, mate. All right. Where are we up to? Grant Miller. I'm training a GSP. He is 9 months old and working bloody great, but with this no hunting, I hope he doesn't go backwards not being in the bush. I don't think he will. I think just keep him out and keep him if you've got some hide or something like that, like Leigh's been doing, I think that's the key to it. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. Look, even if they're just chasing a ball with a scent in it, it's enough to give them that sensation for the day. And it's certainly, I would never stop doing the training sessions. And if I can just say this too, is that the training sessions, when we just go for a walk, I would walk her through a bit of bush and just stalk. It looks a bit weird sometimes if there's anyone looking at us, but I'm just with it on a lead or off a lead. I would still walk her through a bit of bush and have her walk beside me and controlled. So it's not just a walk out into the scrub. It's a matter of you're training all the time. You can't just let those things go. So I wouldn't be looking at, wondering why you can't try. I'd love to be able to take April up to some of the places. I only went to one the other day that unfortunately didn't allow dogs, but there's plenty of sambar deer there. Now I knew that, couldn't take a gun, but I could take the dog for a walk, spot one, scent one, do all that stuff. But unfortunately I couldn't get into that particular park, but there's plenty of parks up there.
Well, if you can stop and find them wombats, that's a start.
She loves the wombats now. I'm going to have to try and get her off those, but that's
well. They're similar sort of. They can be a similar sort of smell to, and then you get foxes going in wombat holes, and that's obviously how mange gets transferred as well. So you got to be careful in that area.
What was that gentleman? What was that gentleman's name, Steve?
Gentleman, geez, you're being good to him. Grant Miller, he's a gentleman.
Grant Miller.
Grant Miller.
Grant, I'm not sure where you live as far as that goes, and if it's sort of outer burbs, that's even better, because there are plenty of parks around that you can still walk the dog and educate the dog, and that's the important part, because it's that education that through persistence and repetition that really comes into its own with a dog, especially a smart dog. Yeah, like the GSPs. They're a smart little dog.
Yeah, we're going to have to move along in here, mate. I've got a few questions up here. No, it's not you. You answered that well. I think it's true, though. You've got to enjoy the whole thing, though, too. As much as it can get frustrating with the dogs, you just can't take it out on the dog. That's the key thing.
No, far from. Jeez. No.
Christian Hackle, where do you do most of your deer hunting? Thick bush or open farm country? Most, well, probably a balance of all of it, to be honest with you. Look,
I really do like the fringe country. I really do like the fringe country because it offers a lot.
I like the bits where we can sort of shoot them and then drive the car up to them and just get all the meat.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Fringe country.
Nah, look, it's. I think like anything in hunting, it's a challenge. So sometimes, and for us, we're primarily meat or vermin hunters, but how can you not enjoy getting up in the high country and whatnot? So. To be honest with you, I think I've got I've got a pretty good balance of sort of spreading and sharing the love a little bit all over the country. And Leigh, look, is pretty much the same, mate, but maybe not so much the high country stuff, though, Leigh.
No, I don't tend to do the high country, and that's purely the only thing that puts me off is carrying my pack in and out.
Yeah, well,
the rest of it's fine, no problem at all. But I'm just not. I can do other things.
Yeah. David Lynch, 17 are rubbish, can't use in the rain or wind. Well, I'm not getting into this one. Here we go. G1, get out of there.
Use your words. Come on.
I know. I think I need to put my glasses back on for that one. I've owned 22 mags in the past, have a 17 HMR now. I would much prefer the 22 mag, a lot more forgiving on fox size game. 17 HMR, awesome on bunnies, not as good on foxes. Mate, you've taken the words out of my mouth. I love the 17, but 17 HMR, but it's better on the rabbits than it is on the foxes. I've had more foxes. How many foxes, Leigh, have we had sort of shot in the chest? Under 100? Spotlight?
Yeah, when
you go to pick them up?
You paintball them and they're still going.
And they're going. All right. Oh, look out, Dave's on again, hunting a ret. To stop the cold in swags, the foam click together tiles from BCF, etc. A pack of 4 for about $15. Oh well, never tried them. But
carry them in, Dave.
Might be a target by the end of the day.
No, they're a good idea, though.
Yeah, they are. I use them in my shower.
Leave them there.
Use them in my shower when I go up bush. David Lynch, have you ever gone to different countries to hunt? Dave, that was asked before. You probably didn't see it. And the easy question I can answer is no. And Leigh?
No, definitely not. No.
No.
I don't need to either, but that's me. That's just me personally.
Look, Ben has been on to me to sort of go to New Zealand and whatever, and I'd love to go over there on a holiday, take the wife or whatever. And to be honest with you, I would just more go for the photography than probably hunting some of their animals. Maybe the big reds and that over there, probably keen to do, and the raw.
Yeah, see, from my perspective, I don't hunt heads, so, pretty
you
much.
Should with a head like that. Grace, sorry, I couldn't.
It's meat.
Gracie Gunfire, preferred around the fire, beer, white wine, red wine, port, spirit, or all. I think she knows me, or he knows me, I should say.
Yeah, I think there's a fair bar.
Yeah, when it's all done and dusted for the day. Yeah, look. To be honest with you, I was always a beer drinker. More so now, I think we both enjoy a nice rum.
Yeah,
Pundy
and a
red.
port. I don't mind port either.
Yeah, I'm not a wine drinker at all.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, no, I am, and yeah, I think. Well, I've seen you that Thursday. You'd be licking the dew off the grass. So I'm not surprised. What do you drink? Not like Mr. Arnold.
Oh no, don't go.
We have a friend that'll mix all those into one glass and be quite content.
Chris Nation at Wayne's Pateria. Any of the online firearm site usually have an optics section. Just need to keep checking. One of the good ones that we used many years ago was Euro Optic in the US. Yeah, but yeah, look, there is good second-hand optic places around, and
There is.
Ben actually put me onto one. I can't think of it now, but it's in, I think it's Bosnia or somewhere like that. It's in Europe. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Samba Man, what's the best method and best area to find Samba cast antlers? Well, you've obviously watched one of our videos.
On the ground.
Yeah, well, I never find it because I'm always looking ahead. But yeah, I'm not going to go into areas, but let's just say when you're starting to find a lot, there's obviously a good chance there's been a lot of deer through there. So you don't tend to give those locations away. You just got to put in the time. You just got to look. Yeah, no shortcuts in life. That's the issue. And if you're looking for them, sometimes you're never going to find them. Just enjoy the travels. Leigh and I, does Leigh have a web store, or how can I see what he does?
If you have a look at my Facebook page, Leigh Baragwanath, just like me as a friend or whatever you have to do to get onto that.
Does he have to?
No, he doesn't have to. No, he can just freely look. But I tend to try and keep that to leather projects that I prefer to put up. Other than that, no, there's no web store, mate. I've tended to stay away from it. I registered the name as Hide in the Grass purely because I didn't want to lose the name to someone else. Silly thing, it only cost a couple $100 for, or $80 or something or other for 3 years. It's nothing to register a name. But I just like the name. But other than that,
I love the symbol. You couldn't have come up with a better...
the logo.
It's good. The hat's going to go one day, though. We all know that. But,
One day.
Yeah. All right, Stevie Beebe.
You're making it up. You're making it up.
When backpacking, Robbo, do you blokes use the Mountain House style packs, or do you know of a cheaper alternative? They cost nearly the same as a good pub meal. I think he's talking about the Mountain House sort of freeze-dried meals. Yeah, look, I've tried quite a few, and I've actually recently been using the Radix, and they're not bad. Yeah, look, they're all not as good as a normal meal, but yeah, look, to be honest with you, if you're hungry enough, you will eat anything. So,
well, draw the line at foxes and bats.
Yeah, well, bats maybe, but all right, here we go. Yeah, they do cost us nearly the same as a pub meal. Depends on the pub, but they're definitely not as good as a pub meal, I can tell you that much.
No. Exactly.
David Millard.
Really need to support the locals.
Yeah, exactly. Outer Edge Aussie made in target and hunting rounds. Very accurate. Don't know much about them. So can't comment, Dave. I'm pretty much a hand loader, as is Leigh. So
I've heard that about you.
look out, Paulie, still going strong.
Is he?
That could mean a lot of things here. Bradley Moore. Hi, Leigh.
Yeah.
Looking for a good breeder for Vizsla. Do you recommend anyone?
Yep, I can.
But are they doing it at the moment, as in still active?
Do they have pups? No, not at the moment. Not that I know of.
Yeah, contact Leigh via the email.
Yeah, give us a call, mate, or do something, and yeah, I'll certainly put you onto them.
All right.
Yeah, lovely people, love their
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah,
They do a lot of good work. Yeah.
Dustin Holmes, how often would you shoot your rifle? Do you routinely dry fire practice or anything to keep the skills up or not? This is all you, Leigh.
Really? That's funny. That's funny. How often do I shoot my rifle? Normally, well, geez, I can't think of the last time I actually shot it at a target.
Nah.
Uh,
Well, you know I
other
hate shooting paper.
target. Yeah, well, I'm pretty much the same, and I sighted my 222 in at 200 or 210 or something or other, and most of the shots are well under that. So even if it's not shooting dead on paper, it's normally shooting reasonably well.
No,
308's pretty.
I think the big change for us is we were predominantly fox, rabbit shooters, and then moving into deer in later years. So when, like, sort of 10, 20, 30 years ago, mate, I was always on the rifle. The amount of rounds that we used to go through, especially in the 22, was phenomenal. Things have changed, and to be honest with you, I don't have as much trigger time as I probably have had in previous years. And in saying this, as long as you've got good method, you know your rifles, doesn't take much to get back on it. But the stupid thing is, as Leigh will tell you, I can hit them at distance. It's the close shots that I've missed. And recently we had a situation where, geez, I sort of should have been a couple of gimmies for red deer, and I'm sure we fired a couple of more shots than we needed to, but had the desired effect, but it sort of starts to put doubt in your mind. So.
Yeah, they were close shots too.
I know. Grant Miller is from Yarra Valley, Leigh.
Oh, is he?
Do you remember his question?
Yep. How are you, Grant?
Dazza out and about. Hi guys, there doesn't seem to be much discussion about 30-30 deer hunting anymore, considering the amount of animals this round has covered. Any comments? Cheers. Easy for me, 30-30, no comment. Never used it, because never seen any other rifle not being able to do what it can do and much more. Leigh, 30-30?
No, I'm not a player. No. I don't even entertain it.
No, the only
not that there's anything wrong with it. I just don't do that. So yeah.
Now we don't do a lot of pig hunting. We have, but we don't do a lot of it. And to be honest with you, my rifle of choice, and this is how I'm saying, a 30-30 for me is a pig hunting gun, not a deer hunting gun. It'd probably do the job, but I really see it more towards pigs, and it's more in a lever gun. Most of them hold about 6 rounds. I use a 44 Magnum with pretty sort of souped up rounds for the pigs, and I have the advantage of having 10 plus 1 in the chamber, and it's probably, for me, a better rifle than the 30-30. I know a lot of people will disagree, but when it's tricked up and actually sort of loaded to the max, 44 mag's pretty hard to beat. Dustin Holmes, Dazza out and about, I reckon just step up to the 44 mag or the 45, and I didn't read that before. Get a little bit more punch. Look, the 45-70 is a completely different thing in it's sort of for deer. Now, there's a completely different kettle of fish. Great scrub gun, and 45-70, if you want a lever gun for deer, would definitely be quite potent in the sort of sub 150, 100 yards in the scrubs, hard hitting. Yeah, again, if you can handle it, definitely a good option in the lever guns. And that's what we're really talking. In the 30-30s, 44 mags, 45-70s are more prone to be manufactured in the lever guns. All right, Dub Andy. You've got it spot on. The 17 HMR has its place and its use. I shoot here in the UK, where most land is slightly smaller than the rest of the world, but ideal for rabbits and sensible 70-yard foxes. Yeah, it does have its place, but the issue, a few of us have got 17 HMRs now, haven't they, Lee? And
yeah, well, nearly all of us.
yeah, and when you weigh up what it costs you to shoot to what it gives you, I think there's better choices, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think the 204 is probably.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. It depends what you want to do, but yeah. I'm thinking foxes, but yeah.
The foxes.
Got to find a rabbit to shoot, Steve.
Yeah, no. Well, we better find them this spring. I'm a bit over not being able to get out the big guns and do a bit of bunny blasting. I love it.
Bit of laying down.
Yeah. Well, 204 222 223 is hard to beat. If you just want to be sort of more aiming towards foxes, especially if you're a hand loader. All right, the Hunter's Ministry. I fell away from the training of my GSP. He's got potential, but I live in an estate and wasn't able to water train and gun train enough. It certainly takes time and effort. I'd have to agree. It can be hard, and in all fairness, if you can't put the time into a dog, I don't say this in a derogatory way, I think you've got to ask yourself, is the dog worth having? Because a working dog needs to be worked, whether it's a Kelpie.
It needs to be worked.
You know, so I know it's awkward, and in the end, if it's happy to be just a companion dog, well, so be it. What are your thoughts?
Because they make good companion dogs too. Yeah. Look, I tend to think to myself that if you're thinking about gun training, you can do that in your backyard. You can crack a stock whip in your backyard. No, I don't mean setting off a shot, but you can do that sort of thing in your backyard. And really, the dog doesn't. You can hit a hammer on a piece of tin to create a shot at home, and they'll think you're working out in the backyard. But you can train your dog in the backyard, no doubt about it. And as far as water and so forth around the place, I think there's plenty of parks that have, water courses around that you'd be able to take them to on a regular basis. I don't use not having every facility at your that is ideal at your beck and call as an excuse for not using it one way or the other, because there's plenty of things you can do with dogs, I should say, to keep them enthralled in what their companion does.
Yeah, but
as far as hunting, so
in general, a good hunting dog needs to be worked. Now, how often you do it can be hard for most people now.
Yeah.
But
in
if
a
you look
hunting
at
situation.
well, if you look at someone, say for argument's sake, like Matty Webb with his labs, and sort of who else? Tony Gilhan, for argument's sake, they're working their dogs all the time because they're in an environment they can. So
exactly.
It's going to be a lot easier for them to sort of get the best out of their dogs. It is harder for people that are in the CBD and whatever, but it doesn't hurt to try and even just walk them, keep them fit. That's the first thing, and the rest of them
I don't know, Steve. If you walked around Albert Park Lake, let's talk CBD, then you could certainly walk your dog around there and enjoy a swim. And look, I don't think this. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. But there's so many restrictions now on
Talk
dogs.
to me, I don't mind.
Yeah, but there's so many restrictions on dogs now too. Oh, Stephen Popey, he uses a 45-90 on Samba. Well, there's a fair bit of knockdown power there. Okay, sorry, I missed one from Jody Hurd. Robbo, mate, what pants were you wearing on the game camera vid the other day? Looked like First Light. Yeah, no, they weren't First Light. They were just eBay. Go into eBay, type in waterproof pants, look for the ones with black patches or whatever, and that's basically it. They're nothing fantastic, but they've done the job.
I think the brand name was Tina, wasn't it?
I don't know. Idiot.
Waterproof pants.
I'll go red again now. See, look what's happened.
Oh, yeah,
I've turned the light off and I'm still going, gee, I shouldn't have put this top on. And just for those, if you're not a member of the ADA or a club or whatever, sign up. It's definitely worthwhile. You get to come and see us, especially if you come down the Western Port branch.
Good shout out.
David Lynch, I'm in the UK. We can still go shooting fox here as long as the farm's got sheep on it. Is the law the same there? At the current moment, no, we can't base. Look, in general, we can't go hunting. If you're a sort of a professional, yeah. If you're on private land, yeah. But in general, no. Most of the hunting has sort of been locked up over here for the moment. Bob Bingo, we can. Oh, sorry, done it twice again. Oh no, hold on. No, it is different. Bob Bingo, we can still go fox hunting here, David Lynch. I have been practicing with my 375. Bob's on again with his 375 Ruger for foxes and whatever. He doesn't like being undergunned, Bob. But
No.
yeah, we can. But in general, for our public hunting access is pretty much locked up. So it's just easy to probably say no, we can't at the moment. Wayne Spiteri.
Does Bob use that gun to shoot him, or does he just whistle
mate,
him in close and whack him on
Bob
the
doesn't
head?
like to be undergunned, I can tell you.
No. Jeez.
Mel Jerfers. Hey Robbo, sorry I'm late. Quick question. Just bought my new binoculars for rabbit shooting. Dropped them the other day. Ooh. And they fell down a burrow. Yeah, I think this is another one that's testing me here. Fell down a burrow and knocked out a young fox in the hole. Good aim. What do you reckon about that one, Lee? Dropped the binoculars down the rabbit hole, hit a fox on the noggin, and knocked it out. How good's that? Hey,
$10 is $10.
You don't need firearms.
You had another one there from Wayne Spiteri. What was that?
He's just given us thanks, guys, and Chris Nation. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Watcher. The farm I go to in New South Wales is packed with rabbits. Stuff all foxes. Well, we're basically low on both sides at the moment. Most of the places that we've whistled for foxes, the foxes have definitely dropped in numbers because the bait's not there as much. And we've sort of hammered most of the places over the years and done our job, I suppose. So,
yeah. So if there's any farmers in there, we're always up for a new property.
Bradley Moore, I got a few 22 mags, but I prefer my 22 Hornet with my hand loads. Yeah, 22 Hornet, all right. Suffered a lot from thin brass years ago. Don't know if that was improved.
Just while you're reading that, Steve, too, is it for everyone that's written in tonight and contacted us? I know you get carried away with the video and watching and all that sort of stuff, but have you hit the like button yet? I should just prompt you to do that.
Can they unlike us?
You don't have to like us. Don't hit the other one. If you don't like us, just tell us. But don't tell us by hitting the thumbs down. That's just silliness. But just on that, it is part of it. And I just thought while you're reading there, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah.
No. Look, it's a good little pause actually, because what I want to talk about quickly is we all know what's going on at the moment, and to be honest with you, we get supported by a lot of people in many ways, subscribers and whatnot, and I like to sort of get involved with everyone in the sort of the hunting community in whatever way we can help or whatever. But now what I think is probably the most important challenge that we've all got as Australian hunters, shooters, whatever, is to get behind all those that have supplied gear to us, just not now, but when this is all over. And one person and one company that's always wanted to help us out is, besides Swarrow and Carl's, Hannes and whatever. Look, I've just got to give a shout out to Rob, Daz and Tim down at Maroka 30, because look, they're still in business at the moment and hopefully they can continue to. And let's not forget, their store's open. You can go online, support as much as you can the Australian products that Rob sort of tries and put out. The amount of time that all the boys down there sort of put into the shop. Not only that, let's not forget that Rob come out with the first hunting show on mainstream TV. It's a major achievement. So if ever there's a time to get behind our brands, look, Daz gave me these hats to give away, and I'm going to pick someone tonight. Yeah, well, you can pick someone tonight, and at some stage, and there'll be a hat and a stubby holder coming on. Look, we don't have a lot to give, but in saying this, guys, just get behind whatever gun shops, whatever sort of subsidiary shops to do with hunting that you can. Not just now, if they're still going online or if their shop front is open. Don't look, if you've got a few dollars put aside and whatever, when we come through this, try and pump it back into what we all love. Anyway, that's my little 5 cents worth. But I think it could never be more of a time to put our money where our mouth is, guys. Right now, I'm probably going to lose where I was up to, but I'll try and catch up here. Righto. Righto. Bradley Moore, Chris Nation, the Hunters Ministry. I'm just going to jump through a bit, guys, here. If I miss anyone. Sean Hudson, he's hanging to get back out in the bush. Aren't we all? Stevie Roberts, hey legends, Bob Bingo is on the money. Nothing better than getting the vermin with good calibers. 45-70, my personal choice for quick, clean shooting. Oh, man. Well, I can never say you're undergunned. No. Alexander Thorlink, didn't realise you blokes were around Wagga. I'll say good eye if I bump into you, Lee. Oh, well, if you see us in Wagga, you can say good eye.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah. Jason Towman, hey guys. G'day, Jason. The Hunter Ministry is a fantastic pet either way. Yes, very much so, mate. As they say, pet for life, animal, friend, whatever you want to call them, they're your best buddies. Richard Hatfield, Steve, my CZ22 new rifle is really tight when cleaning, resorting to half patches and needs big push, scary or not. I always ask what cleaning rods and gear you're using there. Yeah, definitely. If it's tight, you either got the wrong jag, the wrong thickness cloth, or a combination of both. So just be careful. Reg Parker, I have invited you plenty of time for rabbits. Yes, Reg, I know. I went out yesterday and was able to hand out around 15 rabbits to the elderly. Had a great time with the wife. Well, bloody good on you, mate. That's a bonus.
How are they going to feed them?
Yes, I appreciate it, Reg. And Reg hunts on a lot of smaller little places, which probably not my choice, as in I like those little bit more open areas. But thanks again, Reg. Grant Miller, thanks guys for the advice on my GSP. Just didn't know if I could drive 15 minutes to take him for a walk in the bush. I have plenty of deer in the Yarra Valley, yes there are, that I can walk and keep him training. Well, there you go, Grant. That's the go, mate.
Yeah, well, I drive mine. I don't walk her from here. I drive her probably about 6 minutes up the road, and I don't do the same walk every day. I try to change it up. It keeps me happy and keeps her interested. So yeah, it's good on you. Good, well done. Yarra Valley.
This is a question to you, Lee, from Jason Toman. Lee, what Pel do you use in your 308? I use the 168 grain VMAX, good expansion out to 500 yards.
Yeah, well, you know what it is. It's the 150 SST in the 308.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't realise they did a 168 grain VMAX. But then again, can't know it all, I suppose. Either way.
But the VMAX, I would have thought would expand very well too. It'd be
at lower speeds,
exciting.
It'd probably penetrate a little bit more, especially with that weight in a 308. So yeah, probably good at distance. Not so, but yeah. Look, I've always found the 130, 150 grains a better sort of overall pill for the 308. 306, 150, 180. All right, Matt Capper, what methods are you guys using to rev new areas? I think
review new areas.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, Google Earth, rec work, word of mouth. Righto, Lee, you're the master of this.
Yeah, look, I like to go to Google Earth because I get lost all the time. It's always nice to know which hill I'm going to get lost in. I tend to drive. Well, a lot of people do ask this question, Steve, and I'll give it as simple as I can. I'm not backward at coming forward when it comes to going and meeting, greeting people. I will look for an area that I'd like to hunt, and then try and find out who the major landowners are and go and see them face to face. So I think that's probably the best way. The worst thing that can happen is that I don't get to see them, or if I do get to see them and they say no, then so be it. Neither of us are worse off for wear. So yeah, get out there and say g'day to the people that really do matter, and they are the farmers in this country.
I think it's just a thing, a sign of the times where people would rather type a message than talk to someone. And you've got to get beyond that. You've got to get beyond it. Simple as that. Otherwise, you'll be sitting at home a lot more than you should be. Robin Coker, I think we might have offended him. I said, Leigh, I nearly hit the dislike button after that small dick comment. I told you that in confidence.
What do you mean, Nelly?
Petey Samuels, if you're looking for a budget but high-performing scope, cut a pair of binos straight down the middle. All you need is custom engineering mounts. Duct tape is my material of choice. 2 for the price one. You the ideas, man, Petey. Callum Henderson. Oh, question for me, Leigh. Hey, Robbo, is your 7 mag a super light? No, it's not. It's it was just a timber blued fluted originally, and then that's where it got its origins from. So, no, to answer your question, but it's super light. Jazza88, 213 people watching, should be 213 likes. I'm not worried about that, mate, as long as we all have a bit of fun, keep our mind off what other bullshit's going around, and let's just enjoy it. So, Aussie Paul, I need to get some snake-proof gaiters. Was looking at the HE, but then seen the Maroka gear. Hunter's Element, I think he's mean that. Jesus, that's the first one I've picked. I tell you, I'm a bit slow with these. Got to get myself a pair of them soon. Bit of a personal.
Go down and see Rob.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look, if you can try them on. If you, I don't. Again, it's hard for us to recommend if you're not in the vicinity. But yeah, look, me personally, I'm not a big fan of gaiters, but a lot of people. Leigh loves them.
I love it.
So, yeah, I've got the lighter weight ones, the QU, purely because it just makes me feel like part of the crew then if I've got gaiters on.
You're fancy.
Yeah, but yeah, look, Rob's ones are good. Hunter's Element, I actually had them, and maybe I was just a bit short in the length from the top of the boot, and I found they were a bit stiff and sort of got me under the back of the knee sort of thing, into the hamstrings sort of thing. So I sort of got rid of them, but that was just my personal choice. What are yours are old as the hills, aren't you? Yours Cedar Summit or something?
Yeah, mine are Cedar Summit, and I bought them. I bought them down Geelong many years ago in one of the camping outback, like overland sort of joints, and I paid good money for them then. But geez, they've never let me down. I mean, not that I've been tapped by a snake, but I'm not bothered by snakes too much. So. But it's nice to know that there's a brown snake there that's going to have a tap, and
well, you'll find them. You'll find them.
Yeah, I'll go looking for them. But they're nice to look at, Steve.
Yeah, they are good. Bob by Dynamite 10. Hey guys, with the support, can you put links in the comment as a pinned comment, please? Glad to take a look, but need links, please. Yeah, look, we could put heaps of different ones in there. You've got to sort of maybe give us an idea of the sort of things you're looking to purchase, and it probably can help you out a bit there. Chasing Giants. G'day, lads, from Adelaide. Thanks, mate. Good to see you on. All right, let me see if I can scroll up here a little bit. Oh, geez, it always happens. Andrew Hornet. I have a 19 Calhoun on a CZ527 action and love it on fox size game. Well, it sounds very interesting, and if you're a sort of wildcat shooter, I'm sure it does everything you want it to do. But for me, simple, available, it usually gets the job done. But it sounds like a ripper, to be honest with you. Have you ever heard of that, Leigh? 19 Calhoun?
No.
Yeah.
Rory Calhoun. It's about as close as I've got to the Calhouns.
But, Bradley Moore, mate, just by doing this show and all your vids is giving us more than you know, and I think I can speak for all of us. We all thank you both. Pleasure, Brad.
Good on you, Brett.
We still can't believe people watch our videos, but anyway.
Yeah.
Look, we'll keep going. Are you happy to go for a little bit longer, Lee, or what?
Oh, look, Steve, as long as the COVID lasts, I'll go.
Shit. All right. Critter, look after the local shops. Very well said, guys. Thanks, mate. I think it's very important now. And look, it's all good to talk about it here, but I think it's time, if you're still working and you're thinking about buying something, whatever, do it. That's all I can say. Just don't expect everyone still to be there if we don't do it. So, all right, Matt Cato, with all the craziness going on, do you think we will see an increase in cost of ammo, etc., after the bans are lifted? Well, if you see an increase in price of ammo, it's only going to be for two reasons. One, the Australian dollar. Two, the lack of stuff coming out of the US. That will be, I think you might find availability might be the issue, and prices was going to go up anyway, from what I heard.
Given that, I mean, as you say, the Australian dollar, it's woeful at the moment.
Yeah, but it could turn around too. We just keep as positive as we can at this moment. Chasing Giant. Exactly. What's the longest shot you've ever made on a red stag? Red stag, I don't think I've shot. Have I shot a red stag? Maybe a young one, probably 200 yards. I think it'd be about the longest for me. I haven't shot a lot of red stags, shot a lot of the females. But, we don't get a lot of reds. We've got a limited area where we know they are, but one of the boys, one of our farmer mates, has shot one of the biggest red stags I've ever seen. That was quite a few years ago now. Lee was a butcher.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that's true. That was a nice
rack. It was a massive stag. But, Jason, 215 people on chat, only 44. Like, come on, God, don't worry about that, Jason. Don't let it worry you about. We just put these videos up. Thanks, mate, but don't stress about it. Bradley Moore, I'll come with you, Reg. There you go.
There you
go. Christian Hackle, thoughts on Steyr rifles? No real first-hand experience. You haven't had any first-hand experience with them, have you, Lee?
Dave's on channel. Dave's on channel, hunting around.
What? On channel what?
No, I don't know. He's on. Isn't he listening? Isn't he watching?
Well, he was.
Isn't he right into Steyrs?
No. He's not a Steyr man. No, don't go there.
Oh, I thought he was.
No. He's gone to the Tika. He's seen the light.
From where?
What?
Thank you. I just thought I'd mention that.
Hold on. Look, I lost. Now you've distracted me.
No, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah. Bradley Moore. I'll come here. You have thoughts? Hi from Tassie, from Gavin Casey. G'day, Gavin. Have less, do more. Oh, here's trouble. Trouble. G'day, guys. Great to see you both. Once the COVID is over, hope your plans for new videos, mate. I think the camera's batteries will be ready, charged, ready to go. I can tell you now, the freezers will start to be getting a little bit empty by then. So, we'll be into it. Dennis Gilmore. G'day, boys. New to your channel. Like everyone, I'm a bit over the shutdown. Enjoy the channel, especially the good-natured banter. Oh, well, put it this way, we haven't had to get the swear jar out too much tonight, so that's pretty good.
Should have operated it earlier.
Oh, I know. I think it would have been full pretty quick. Stevie Roberts, how did you guys have an opinion on the... Sorry. Hey, did you guys have an opinion on the Bickle X Series 308? A couple of mates have mentioned getting one end of last year and highly recommend it. Bickle X Series... I got no idea. Never heard of that. It's either a typo or I don't know anything about that rifle.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Robinson on there. Sean Hayes. Hi, guys. Just heard you use a 150 grain SST in the 308. Do you use this load for Samba? I'm considering the 139 grain SST for my 7mm08. Worried this could be a bit light. What do you think? Thanks. Well, I can answer straight up. Both Lee and I shoot 150 grain SSTs out of our Seiko Finlight 75s.
Yeah.
130 grain in the 7mm08. it'd be a good choice, but obviously it's a great little rifle, but you're going to have to really well place your shots. So, yes, you're on the light side, but not a situation that it's not doable. But pick your shots. But you've been happy enough with the SSTs, Lee, haven't you? Accurate enough?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you've got to do your part with it, though. You know, that's the key.
Yeah, no, most definitely do.
What are you doing with your camera? You're bouncing your camera around.
No, I hit the freezer. This is my little setup sitting on top of my freezer, on top of the dehydrator, looking
Right. Is that what you're
at my
on?
iPad. Yes.
Mark Tricarico. Hey, Robbo. Love the show. Thanks, Mark. Bought a 22 Ruger Precision for bunnies, then bought a 17 HMR Cogswell. Now the Ruger just collects dust. P.S. over the shutdown. Yeah, actually, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the Cogswell I think is similar to the CZs, just a more refined version. But yeah, I do know of at least one person that's bought one. I think young Jake got one, Lee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and definitely over the shutdown. H-Dub Andy, if you guys are unable to shoot prone or sat, shooting sticks or tripod, yoke or pig saddle, what do you guys prefer to use most? Well, probably the steady sticks overall for normal hunting situations, Lee. I think you got them
they
first.
always seem to. Yeah, no, they're the go-to for me. I've got Harris bipods sitting here that are probably never going to see the light of day. Apart from, even then, I don't think I'd put them back on the guns.
I think in a hunting situation, being able to sort of drop down to on your butt and basically straddle across your knees with the steady sticks. Once you sort of get used to them. They're usually tall enough to shoot over the top of any grass in a sitting position. If you can back up and sort of have your back up against a rock or a tree or something like that, adds another dimension again. So it's probably the ones we loved are no longer made. The Stony Point, not Stony Creek, Stony Point Steady Sticks, STIX. But they're basically just arrow shafts, really, aren't they? But they clip together good, they're light.
Yeah, pretty.
So that'd be my go-to for a normal hunting situation. Otherwise, for prone, sort of long-range stuff, well, you come into your Harris bipods and so on. Darren William Sweeney. Hey, Robbo, when you and Lee go into the high country, do you try and camp close to rivers and streams? I don't know. What do you think, Lee?
Well, ideally.
Exactly.
Well, what do you call close?
Yeah, well, put it this way, it depends. If you're on top of the hill, well, you're not going to be near one. You're down the bottom of the valley, there's a good chance you are going to be near one. So, water's obviously a scenario that's probably one of the biggest issues when you're out hunting in the high country. And just because you're in sort of sometimes wet, cold environments doesn't mean water's going to be readily available. So, if you're going to be hunting the tops, you want to make sure you've got a backup water supply, or find some sort of water source pretty early on. So otherwise you're down the rivers and that, obviously hopefully the condition of the water is good, and then but you can't beat camping around a river or a creek or something like that. It's just something about
absolutely
it.
Not. So, no, absolutely not. We're not bush rangers.
No. Jimmy Anon, what's wrong with my gun? I keep putting my eye on the scope when I shoot and my head gets split open. I shouldn't laugh. My scope isn't loose. I can't figure out why it keeps splitting my eye open and suggestions.
No, there's there's a bus. I think they come around at about 9 o'clock most mornings, mate. Little blue bus, get on it.
No, he's talking about getting hit in the eye, but his scope.
Yeah, I know.
Basically.
He's silly enough to go back to his scope so close. How many times?
Well, yeah, I don't understand. Look, it sounds like you've got the wrong scope for the wrong caliber. In other words, not enough eye relief. But again, a pretty open question. I don't know whether it's a 22 or in Bob's case or whatever, 375. But
sorry, I thought he was
a little bit of information, more information required. But wrong scope, wrong rifle by sound of it. The Watcher. I got Tika ammo, 50 for $50, 223. Yeah, it sounds all right. I don't buy factory ammo, so I really don't know much about
No,
it. When was the last time you bought factory ammo for centerfire, Lee? Long
geez, I
time.
don't
So.
know, but I'm thinking about 43 cents, I think, for the 222 and
Geez,
thereabouts
you know, we've been
as a
going for
handload.
almost 2 hours. I can't believe people are listening to us for 2 hours. Anyway, we'll keep
Yeah,
going a little bit longer if you're happy to, Lee.
no, I'm fine. I'm good.
Oh,
This is not work to me.
all right. Here we go. Samba dear yum yum. Hey boys, loving your show and talk. I live on my mate's farm back by a glorious bush. Checked the cams yesterday. Oh my god, stags. Can't wait for the unlock time. Well, lucky you, mate. Lucky you.
But he lives
Corky's
on the farm. Is that what he said?
he's living on a mate's farm, backs onto the bush.
So does that mean on that private property you can't go and shoot on it?
On private he can, but he can't go. It's probably state forest. Backs on the state forest, so
Ah,
he can't go in there.
okay,
So
okay. I'd
Corky's
start feeding them.
Corky's bees. Now I've got a feeling, and I've got a feeling Corky's bees got affected by the New South Wales fires. So I hope you've come good, mate. I know you might have, if correct me if I'm wrong here, but I hope it's all come good, and it's good to see you on here, mate. I'll read out his question. Hi there, good job, boys. An Australia dollar is 63 cents today, on the way up again. Well, that's a bit better than what it was the other couple of days.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, with every fall, there's got to be a rise. So hopefully it's a good one. Stuart Palmer, hey Robbo, did you check out the settings on your trail camera as suggested? Normally cameras have different light conditions. Stuart Palmer, yes mate, there is no setting for the sensitivity of the camera, only sensitivity of the sensor. I'll stand corrected here, but yeah, that's the scenario. And it's not only me that's found the problem with them, so yeah, I wish it was so easy. The stupid thing is, the same camera takes 2 shots in my scenario, 2 shots with picture and then straight on the video. Now the exposure of the video was spot on. The 2 shots at the start were 9 out of 10 times way overexposed. So they've certainly got some issues. Aussie Paul, have you blokes checked out the Southern Cross Small Arms TSB X chassis? If so, what are your thoughts? Probably a little heavy for deer hunting, but a nice Aussie product. Chassis for rifles, not my sort of thing. So to answer your question, no. Lee, you know anything about them?
No,
So I can't make an educated answer. I can't give you an educated answer on that one, mate. Sorry about that. Simon Bullen, what do you guys think about having hunting ban for now is going to have on the population of deer, foxes, etc.? Love your work. Lee?
Well, I think if you weren't knocking them down, they'd be breeding, mate. So I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the time frame. But let's not forget, and as I mentioned earlier, a lot of Victoria, New South Wales, whatever, has been massively hit by fires. So we need to, if you're going into fire-affected areas, just don't. Yeah, just assess the situation before you start clean them up.
Plus, there's a lot less rabbits around now with the Khaleesi too. So, as far as the foxes go, well, their food source is dwindling.
Yeah, but there's a lot less sheep farmers in comparison to where we went farming, so they've all gone to black cattle. So that changes the scenario for foxes as well.
Very much, yeah.
But what I've noticed already in the time I was away for a week, in the fire-affected areas, the roos are very quick to respond, and they sort of breed according to the situations. And I noticed heaps of twins in the roos, as in like little ones only a few weeks old. So they know animals sort of adapt and overcome, because one thing with the fire affected areas, as much as the trees and the grass is coming back lusher than ever. So hopefully,
exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, Callum Henderson, have a Ruger M77 in 270. Thinking of trading it for a Tika when the COVID blows over. Are the T3X Hunter a feasible choice for stalking on foot all day long? Mate, they're pretty proven. You don't have a Tika, do you, Lee? But you've seen.
No, I don't. No.
Yeah, but look, mate, hard to go wrong. Value for money. But another one I'm going to throw up in the that I haven't had one firsthand, but I know a lot of people, a lot of well-renowned hunters, deer hunters, that are actually looking at these new little sour 100s. And value for money may be worth a look, because they look, and from what I've heard, the people that have got them have been quite happy with them. So it may be worth a look. Tika definitely is sort of a well-known performer, but doesn't hurt to, have a look. And also, don't count out another brand that's worthwhile looking into is Bergara. Bergara. Some of their rifles are going to be well worth looking into. All right. Game Trail Films. Here we go. Steve's on you. Got a Steyr Pro Hunter 243. Bought every factory ammo on market. All shot shit. I like the way you sum it up, Steve. Started hand loading and shoots 0.4 minute of angle at 100 metres. Love it, mate. That's how it can go. Sometimes look, I say I never use factory ammo or whatever, but I've got that combination, the Bruno combination 243 12 gauge. And I bought it, picked it up second hand and just used it last year, this time of year, to take up on the fallow. I thought, just for the time being, I'll shoot some 80 grain core locked. And I couldn't believe I was shooting sort of inch group with that at 200 yards. So I think I'm blessed. So, yeah, besides some low velocity rounds I've done with some 55 grain, sometimes you can be lucky. So, Gavin Casey, 6.5 by 55 Carl Gostoff rifle. Do you know anything about them, as I've just acquired one? 6.5 55 is obviously a great projectile size, and a lot of people get them shooting well, but that exact rifle, I know nothing of it. Lee, yourself? It's more like sort of the military style, I think. I might be wrong, but it's going back a few years, that caliber in itself. Here we go. I've just got to find it. SSCN. Robbo, do you still have the Seiko Rough Tech? Any thoughts on that particular rifle? I'm looking for one in a 300 Win Mag. I have the Rough Tech range. Yes, I do, in a 7mm Rem Mag. And when I first bought them, they were very, very good value for money. I think they've increased in price now, and certainly still a good rifle, and probably what they have over the Tika is a better stock, a far better stock. So yeah, worth it if you can get them at the right price. But there's some other options as well. The other one I would look into, and you might be able to speak to Jason Selms in the future, is he's got the Bergara HMR in that exact caliber, and I'll be very interested to see how he gets it shooting. So yeah, that's another option. Look up the Bergara HMR. Well worth looking into. Sean Hayes, cheers, thanks guys. Might just have to do the right thing and buy another rifle. Well, hopefully it won't be.
What's he going to buy?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Arthur Antonopoulos, love your work, guys. Great to see you on board, Lee. Yeah, he's made a special appearance. Hopefully it won't be the last. He puts up with me most of the time. So, Lee, can you please, Reg Parker said, can you put Lee's Facebook page for leather goods at the end, please? Yeah, if I don't do it today, Reg, send me a message and we'll get it to you. But it's just hiding the grass, isn't it?
It's Lee Baragwanath, isn't it?
Lee you could get a simpler name to spell.
Well, it's written down on the screen, isn't it? Is it the people say that
hiding the grass. We'll work it out. Get on to, if I forget, Reg, get on me. Oh, look out. Dan Stevens, he said he's been working out here. He's been cutting wood, I know that much. He's been busy. How are you, Dan? Shit, been out in the shed working on Mum's chainsaw. You're a good man.
I love that.
Chris Nation, I was going to ask you, Robert, when the Pope is coming back out to play, but after this George Paul stuff, it could be taken the wrong way. Yeah, very good point. Look, mate, we are hoping, I don't know about you, Lee, but I've been missing sitting down, getting into the bunnies.
Absolutely.
It really,
absolutely.
You talk about practice and getting skills back on the trigger and whatever, you can't beat long-range bunny busting. So hopefully maybe this spring. What's this? Dan Stevens. Jimmy needs to adjust the nut at the end of the stock. Yeah, well, it could be the case. Chasing Giants. Samba backstraps or fallow backstraps, Lee?
Oh, just backstraps. Oh, I think fallow, but I don't know. Sometimes, well, a bit like you, Steve. I like a big piece of meat.
Yeah, but you handle it better.
Have the kiddies gone to bed yet?
I hope so.
Because I'd like to bring out the swear jar now.
Oh yeah. Nah, look, I think there's samba and there's fallow and there's fallow. As in, you get a small young animal on either side, it's going to eat differently to a bigger animal, and you cook it accordingly. You know, like, I
was going to say one of the big things is how you cook the meat and what you do with it. Some people are just happy to throw it on the barbecue and kill it. Other people are a little bit more gourmet about it.
Gourmet, that's a big word.
Gourmet, yeah, it is a big word. It's spelt the same way. And I just think that there's a lot that can be done. I've just been looking at it was on YouTube, of a guy using a whole pineapple that's put through a vitamizer as a marinade.
You haven't got over this, have you? You love this idea.
No, I haven't, and I haven't tried it yet either. And I'm very, very tempted to try it. I'll be honest. And this lockdown's probably a good time to do just that. But I need the meat.
But you'd take the pineapple too, I believe.
Sausages and patties. I need the meat.
Yeah, well, I reckon you'd take the pineapple. So you'd. All right, HW Andy, you guys are doing a bloody awesome job of answering all these questions. Good work. You both must have learnt a thing or two after all these years. I don't know. I've forgotten more than I've learnt, I reckon. Look out. Khadijah's on. Khadijah Assad, Life of a Huntress. Ha, ha, ha. My daughter comes to where I'm sitting and said, Mum, you're still watching. And of course I am. Well, it's good to see. She's been on the whole duration. Oh, you must be bored tonight, Khadijah.
So have I.
Yeah, anyway. What do you mean you're boring? You're bored?
I didn't say bored. I didn't say that. You just said you've been on the whole duration. I said, so have I.
Yeah. HW Andy, great. Treat yourselves to a beer later. Oh, I think I'll be going straight to bed, I reckon. Past my bedtime. Lucky I'm not working at the moment. Still on holidays for another 2 weeks.
April will be in bed. She'll be dirty on me.
Oh yeah, she likes a master. Mel Jeff, Jerfers. Hi Rob, really confused with my new loophole scope. You notice I said it rightly. Loophole scope.
Rob?
Has this knob on top. Some call a turret, but I thought it was a windage dial. I actually shot my fuel tank instead of a... For God's sake, I'm not going there. I don't want to get out of there. Listening to you blokes in the background while I load 2520 WCF bullets. Life is good. My name is supposed to be go on, get out of there. It's taken me a little while to get there, by the way. It seems to have you stuffed. Oh, look, I'm trying to do this without my glasses on. I'm getting there. But, yeah, I'll be onto it now. What do we got? Stuart's... all right, hold on. Let's see if we've still got more. Oh, my, blimey, it's still going, Lee. Yeah, you're travelling there, mate.
I'm good. No, I'm good. I was going to say, we've got some pretty good people that come on. That obviously they're subscribers.
Well, yeah. Well...
Yeah,
I suppose so. A lot of people I see here quite often. It's good to catch up, and at the moment, I couldn't think of a better thing to keep our mind off all the other bullshit. So, Paul McAuliffe, do you guys crimp your bullets or just leave it once it's seated to depth? Lee?
I leave it once it's seated to depth. I don't crimp them.
Okay. The only bullet that I crimp and is renowned for sort of needing it to get the best out of it is the 44 Magnum. I shoot the 240 grain, XTP Hornadies, with pretty warm light. I think Winchester 296, and to get the best out of that cartridge, you're better off crimping it. So that's the only one I do. Other than that, no. Nathan Davies, I will vouch for the Sauer 100. Have 243, 308, and 300 Win Mag, and value for money, it's exceptional. Brilliant accuracy, silky smooth, and well-balanced hunting rifle. Mate, you're not the first person that's told me this, and yeah, I think Sarah Wind, and I think actually Dougie Reed's grandson, Leigh, got one.
Has he?
Yeah. And I think they've been very, very happy with it. And Doug, for argument's sake, is pretty fussy with his rifles and a real Tikka fan. Yeah. And from what I've heard, I think he's said it's pretty damn good value for money. Bradley Moore, I have a T3X Light in 308, and I can carry it all day and shoot fantastic with hand loads, 180 grain round nose. Love it. It's a pretty good combination, Brad. Wooly 2861. Robbie, how you doing, mate? Nice and sunny here in the UK, but still not able to get out. Stay safe. It's been a bit overcast down here in the southern part of Australia, but wouldn't worry me if I could get out in the bush. Well, I actually got out in the bush. I live in the bush, so I was sort of just walking through there today, but still not the same without carrying the bang stick. But anyway, no. Corky's bees. Here we go. Yeah, mate, the fire did come to the bees and had to move the bees to keep them alive. But do well, and the bonus, the raw is on, and deer just walk past the hive. Can't wait to be able to go for a hunt. Great to hear, mate. Yeah, I remember it coming up with it, and I thought, bloody fires. Like I said, myself and Leigh have seen it firsthand in the last 3 or 4 months, and I tell you, it really makes you realise how sort of fragile life can be in many ways. I tell you, it can be a scary, bloody experience. Yeah. Thomas Thompsonson. Hi, Robbo. Picked up my trail cam the other day. Was surprised to find footage of 2 stags playing in the mud together. One appeared to be humping the other.
Did you just laugh at his name? No. Robbo Robinson?
It's Thomas Thompsonson. I can't. You want to see it? It's Thompson with a sun on the end. You can't see it.
I'm seeing it.
All right. One appeared to be humping the other. Well, it's a gay old day. That's all I can say. All right. Here we go. Let me move on a little bit here. Omar Badrovic. My friend overseas has a Bagara in 243. He's loving it. It's famous European barrel manufacturers making barrels for Remington and just decided to make their own gun. Improved Remington 700, I think. Yeah, for those that don't know about Bagara, pretty much started off as a barrel manufacturer with, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Ed Schillen from Schillen Barrels was quite involved in setting it up, and I think he was pretty impressed with the sort of barrel quality that they've been putting out, and so have I been with the ones we've used so far. Wooly 2861, have a Tikka T3X in 223 at the moment, but looking to get a 243 later on. Like the look of the new Seiko S20. What do you think? Well, the S20 is certainly different, and it's something completely different for Sarko. It's a good move in some areas, and probably a different move in other areas. And I'm not going to make comment on it yet until I actually get to the position that I can actually shoot it. But first impressions is it's different, and it's far from bad. So you're definitely not out of the equation. But yeah, I'd like to see in all its different configurations. Sean Hayes, Leigh, looking a Tikka in 9.3 by 62 as a dedicated Samba rifle. You haven't had anything to do with that caliber, have you? Ben's the only one.
No, I've seen people own them, and I've seen people want to put them away as a safe queen. I'm not a big cal shooter, so no.
But the 9.3 from like Ben's had he said it's more like a bit of a shotgun push too. It's not overly bad. It's probably one of the better, bigger calibers, but limited by range to a degree. If you sight it well, possibly 250, 200 ideally maximum. But hits hard, that's for sure.
No doubt.
Callum Henderson. Piss funny, you blokes. I don't know. Must be looking at a different channel. Chris Hilton.
You're probably looking at reruns.
Chris Hilton, tuning in from Hong Kong, missing the Vic High Country. Keep up the good work, lads. Appreciate sharing of information, insights and point of views. Stay safe. You too, Chris. Good to see you from a remote location. Definitely no hunting over where you are at the moment. Brendan Pridmore, cooking vids soon. You wouldn't want to see my cooking, mate. It's pretty rough. Lee's pretty handy. But,
I don't know. You do all right.
I go all right sometimes, but we'd like to keep
You
things
go
pretty
all right.
simple. We like to keep things pretty simple, so it's just like the blokes
Out of
doing
necessity.
the job. Yeah, exactly.
Out of necessity.
Mel Jeffers, if this is another one, Mel, that's it. Straight in the sin bin. Robbo, me and Robert Bingo are having a combined rabbit shoot for Big Calibers event. Keen to come try. Note the minimum caliber is 12 gauge slugs or 325.
Slugs.
And we will be shooting animals within 10. Mate, I love your comments. You're gold, mate. Richard Hadfield, I think we're tiring him out, Lee. I think we're tiring him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What great viewing, boys. He's going to have to go to bed, I reckon, Richard. It's past his bedtime. Robin Coker.
He'll get nipply.
Oh, here we go. Do I have to read
If
this
he has another go at me.
Lee, how do you know a Collingwood supporter invented the toothbrush? Now, I don't want to know. I know the answer to this.
No, I don't. I don't know. I'd be astounded that they didn't invent anything. But
I'm not going there.
What
I'm
is
not
it?
even answering it. Rusty, g'day from Hastings. G'day, Rusty. Here we go. Mel's on the $20 entry fee, but no guarantee you'll bring any rabbit meat home. Stuart Palmer, well, he's gone. We're pushing a few to bed, Lee. Good night, boys. Have a good week. Yeah, same to you, Stuart. Righto. Let's see how many we got going. Oh, I think we're coming to the end. Neb Polidar. Hi, Rob. I've noticed that you have new marsupial gear bino harness. I just got one as well. Yeah, I've actually got two. They both clip onto my vest, which I changed around a little bit. The small one for my 8x32 Zeiss binos, and the big one I bought later on for the big 15 Swarrows. And yeah, as much as they've got marsupial on them and a picture of a kangaroo, they're made in the US. So yeah, go figure. But they are pretty good gear. Yeah, I do like it. H Dub Andy, do you guys use a shotgun much? Come on, Lee. We probably would be using them now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, the boys
true.
would be using them. Normally they're doing their fox drives now. But they've had to can it, so a little bit of a pain. But no, we only use them. Look, I don't. Put it this way, I don't shoot up in the air just about anything. I'm not a duck shooter because I don't eat them. But yeah, for foxes, when we use them, I can speak for myself, but we use pretty heavy loads and tight chokes, 42 gram loads, BBs and 2s, and excuse me, pretty devastating on foxes.
Would you shoot a flying fox?
No.
What?
I'm almost out of
flying
water.
Through the air. You wouldn't shoot it.
Yeah. I'm not going there. Don't bait me.
Thanks.
Hey, Lee, what projectile do you use in the 222 and what powder weight?
Oh, a tiny little one compared to the 308. It's 50 grain. Yeah, 50 grain VMAX. I love them. Powder weight. I'm probably about 10 feet away. Oh no, I'm a little bit further than that now. What are they?
I'll give you a tip. It's 24.
20.3.
I think you
Is it
are
23?
about that. Yeah.
24.3 or 7, one or the other.
It's not 7. I used
close.
to shoot 24 and a half out of my 222 with a 50 grain VMAX and the Seiko, and that was with benchmark 2.
Yeah. Well, it is benchmark 2. So.
I think yours is 24.3. If my memory, I know it was a little bit less.
I got an idea.
You couldn't handle the extra 0.2.
Yeah, no, the repercussions. The repercussions of
it
that.
pushed you over the edge.
That's it.
Yeah, a few people. We're getting rid of a few, Lee. We'll see if we can.
Yeah, good. Go to bed. Have a good night, and thanks very much for joining us.
Reg Parker, great. Bergara is a great brand. Yeah, I think it's a brand that people need to stay in tune to see what they come up with.
Yeah, very much so.
Minchies. Hi boys, I shoot a sour 100, 9.3 by 62, 260 grain. Has never had a problem with it. Puts them down very quick. I will recommend the caliber. Yeah, it's probably one of the better and more sought after bigger calibers because I think it's reasonably nice to shoot in comparison to some of the others. Oh geez, here's a name for me. I'm going to give it a try. Nick Trajovski. You want to sell your 12 gauge? You want to sell your 12 gauge 243 Bruno? Love that combo. No, mate, I actually love that gun. It was one of the best pickups I've had second hand. Richard Hatfield. Leigh, let April in for a minute. Needs some carnage. Is she sleeping or what's she doing?
No, she said she is asleep.
Yeah.
Oh no, waking her up.
Reg Parker. Have you guys tried a straight pull in shotguns? My wife just bought one for me for my birthday. Have you tried a straight pull shotty, Leigh?
No, never.
No,
never.
I've seen a few starting to appear, but no, mate, I haven't. Semi-auto shotties in years gone by, yeah. I'd love to have some of them now, but yeah, years gone by. Here we go. Hold on, we might have got rid of Mel. Good on you, Robbo. Bedtime for me now, but the 12-volt Beagle just woke up.
12-volt Beagle.
Here we go. Chasing Giants. Best sleeping bag down to -5 degrees. I'm not even going to go there because there's so many new ones since I've bought mine. But what I will recommend is, mate, I tell you now, the guru is Daz down at Maroka 30. Give him a ring. Ask him about sleeping bags because they're in touch with all the new brands that are coming out and whatever. Give him a ring. That would be my recommendations because I only give you old information and things are continually changing all the time. But a couple of brands that I would look at. Cedar Summit, I think got some real good ones. Obviously your Mac Packs, whatever. But One Planet makes some good stuff as well, and it's sort of an Australian-based company. So keep that in mind. Dusan Simovic. Hi, Robbo. Just want to ask for your vest backpack, where to buy and what brand. Cheers, mate.
How are you, Dusan?
Yeah, I know. Well, good question. Can't help you because it's no longer manufactured. It's actually, the base of it is actually a Camelback Delta 5, which is no longer made. And then I basically built it up from there. It's got a Plat Attack, I think it's called a Bullock Echo pack on the back. And then just basically changed it because it's all Molly system, yeah. So if you're looking for them second hand, you might find one. Camelback Delta 5 is the base of it. Rusty. What with a hot blonde in it. Okay. Jody Hurd. What brand binos? Small, light, 8x32-ish, under $300. Your thoughts? Well, this question, look, a lot of people say I've got to start recommending cheaper brands and whatever. I just can't do it because in the end, I think you'll find that $300 you spend is going to be $300 to a degree that you're going to regret that you didn't save and put towards something better second hand at least. What do you think, Leigh?
I think if you could pick up something stolen at $300, if you're doing all right.
Well, I must admit, some of our cheaper binos that we had, the Steiners weren't bad. Remember the older Steiners we had? They weren't bad in the cheaper ones.
Rangers or Safaris.
Yeah, I think the Safaris are bottom end, but...
Yeah.
All right, Dan Stevens. Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Hope to see you again soon. Yeah, mate, I'll have to catch up soon, brother. Grant Miller. Good night, guys. Love this show with the best mate, the GSP on the couch. Good on you, Grant. Mate, I think we're wearing them down, Leigh.
Good.
Well, we'll put it this way. Almost 2.5 hours. We're gonna get to another 10 minutes, and we'll see if we can get through.
9. Another 7 minutes. We'll give it.
See if we can get through and wear them down. All right. Erin Pearson. Hi guys. Looking for a step up from a 223, but something that doesn't have a great deal of recoil, as I'm only 55 kilos. For a medium game under 308, as that knocks me round. A big thanks. Medium game. Look, I don't know if a 260 Remington will handle some of your medium game, but definitely a caliber to look into. 270 WSM's quite brisk, but look, 308 will come down to the configuration of the rifle as well. You know, a light 308 can be savage, Putting a better butt pad on for starters, or going
Yep.
for a rifle a little bit more weight in it can also change it as well. Like, I'll see if you can get in a position to sort of stick with a 308 if you can. Just try different brands because they can be completely different to shoot. Your thoughts on that, Lee? I think it's hard to go past
Well,
the
I
308.
remember my Seiko 270 that I had. I was shooting 130 grains out of that, and that was nice to shoot, but it was a very heavy gun. It was a very heavy gun.
Yeah, that 270 was really heavy. Too much for someone that's
Well, it's a lovely
55
gun,
kilo.
but it was, you don't want to be carting it around. No.
Yeah. Rick Fletcher, quickly, in regards to iron sight, question over 1 to 4 by 24 on my 308. I love it, but I'm keen to have a back to basics setup. Only reason I asked. Cheers for tonight, videos. Yeah, I can understand that, mate, and sometimes it doesn't hurt to be able to pull the scope off, or if you break the scope or whatever, have those open sights there. Yeah, I've never seen the need myself, but yeah, if that works for you. Josh D, I'm late, but hi, how you doing? I'm doing all right. How you going, Lee?
Steve, just a quick one on that 55 kilo lady.
How do you know it's a lady?
I just assumed it was.
No, I think it is. Erin is. Yes.
Yeah, well, there's a given,
lovely
mate.
lady.
But I'm just thinking of the single shot Bagara, a lightweight. It doesn't really have that much kick in 308.
That's a good option. We've both got them.
You know. And
if you want
it's a
something
comfortable gun to shoot. Yeah.
And it's a takedown.
Yeah.
So that's a good
exactly.
option.
Yeah.
Look at the Bagara. What is it? The B14 or B18? I can't remember now.
B18, isn't it? B14.
B14
rings a bell.
You think I'd know? I think it's a B14. I don't know. Anyway, look up Bagara takedown. I should know my own right, but so many numbers thrown up. But have a look at them. Very, very good. Very short. They're not the lightest, as in for their size. They're quite
they're not. And most of that metalwork, not.
Yeah, they're about 6 pound without a scope, but very, very safe little rifle. Well, you could. Yeah, look, definitely good point, mate. All right, Sean Hayes. I've got one Planet sleeping bag and then Gundy 2 tent, and must agree, great quality stuff. Plus, it's all Aussie, mate. Yep, couldn't agree more, Sean. Robin Coker, seriously, thanks guys for taking time to do these video live chats. A lot of handy information and great advice, mate. It's our pleasure, and we'll have to catch up soon. I know you're a Richmond supporter, but I won't hold that against you. It'll only take one beer from your side, and I'll be happy.
You know, the other side of that too is that it's people like Robin Coker that are genuine hunters. And I believe a lot of these guys are. They're not just shooters at paper, they're genuine hunters. And that's really what we're all about, is giving that little bit back to the genuine hunter. And this is not a big thing to ask to really, I mean, you do a lot more than me, Steve, but I do bugger all. I'm just sitting here. But, you know, it's really, it is giving back. I know you say it quite a lot, but it's people like that. You're supporting us tonight. And you'll gain our support for that, because that's what we like to see. You've got young blokes coming up that are hunting, and if you can keep your kids close to you while you're hunting, you'll have kids close to you for the rest of your life. And it's a real bonus to see people like you looking for us too, Robin. Thanks.
No, Robin.
And he's a Tiger supporter, Steve.
Yeah, well, like I said, I won't hold that against him tonight. But he's got the boys, he takes them hunting, and that's what it's all about. It just
exactly.
It can be a thing the whole family do for a lifetime.
Yeah.
So good on you, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
B13 is a single shot. Thank God Dale knew what was going on.
13.
Yeah, there you go. B13 takedown. We both got them, and we both can't remember.
That's right.
Great little rifle, though. And cheap. Thanks for all your vids, guys, from Matt O. Have heaps of tips on fox hunting, and I enjoy how you've captured a great friendship on film. Yeah, like I said, the swear jar, we've managed to keep away from that tonight. So, Reg Parker, I used CCI 22 long razor cleans yesterday for the first time. No lead in them at all. Good groups too. Sorry, guys. I'm going to see if I can beat these as they come up. I've got 3 to go. Matt Kappa, I just made a heap of Samba Cabana. Just wondering what favourite meals you blokes like making with the spoils. I'm going to say quickly what I do. I corn and smoke my venison, and I also make sausages with the boys. Lee?
Yeah, well, obviously sausages, but I've been making a few patties of late. and the patties turned out quite nice. I'm quite good with the patties now, but I also like the jerky too.
I've heard that.
Yes, this late at night too, Steve.
In private.
You know, a good bit of jerky before you go to bed, mate. You know.
Oh, well, it's the chili flakes that brings
beyond
tears to my eyes.
It's not beyond.
All right. Josh D. For Erin, I've heard a lot of women and smaller frame men like the Ruger Gunsight Scout in 308. No personal experience with it though, so it could be wrong, or maybe a 243 depending on game to be shot. Yeah, look, I don't know anything about them either, but good on you, mate, for making some suggestions. Head Health Hunter. For chasing giants, check out Cedar Summit, Traverse, Synthetic Fill. He's just recommending some sleeping bags here, Lee.
Oh, okay.
A few people thanking us here. Thanks, Sean. All right, quickly, Nick Trujovsky, 17 HMR versus 22 mags. Gents, and reason why, also brand of rifle. We have mentioned that before. 17 HMR, good rabbit gun, sort of out to 200 if you know the trajectory of it. Good fox gun, realistically, reliably out to 100. Push it past to 150, you got to shoot them in the head. That's pretty much what we found, Lee.
Yeah, no. Otherwise, they're paintballed and you get run-offs, and it's just not something you want to do.
Yeah. So look, if you can get a 22 mag, if you haven't got a 22 rimfire and you just want one in the rimfire range, if you can get a 22 Magnum that will shoot well, it's probably going to be a better all-round choice. A bit heavier hitting, not as flat shooting, but it doesn't matter, really.
How many more you got?
Oh, come on.
I'll be your timekeeper.
Oh, look, we're going to finish here. Everyone's thanking us. It's a pleasure, guys. Now, Melinda Braithwaite, quickly. Oh, no, she's going to recommending something for Erin, which is good. Thanks, Mel.
Yeah,
Erin, I'm the same size using a Browning X-Bolt Hell's Canyon Speed in the 308 and love it. Have no issues with kick. Could be a personal thing as I was using a 7mm Rem mag before this one. Well, Mel, you're doing well to handle the 7mm Rem mag. So definitely the 308 is coming back in size. And to be honest with you, when those Hell's Canyons first come out, I like the camo pattern and all. I haven't actually shot one myself, but I know a lot of people have got them. Mixed reports with some of them, but a lot of people have been quite happy with them as well. Marty Scully, thanks again, boy. Khadijah, good night, guys. Thanks for your pleasure, Khadijah. Talk soon. Wayne Atkinson, thanks heaps. No worries, Wayne. Yeah, Khadijah's got the Hell's Canyon, I think, or she's got the Browning. I don't know if it's that exact model. Everyone's saying, I think we might wrap it up, Lee. Just stay on. Get it. But thanks again, guys. It's gone way over what we'd expected, but thanks for all the questions. And by all means, tune in next week. I don't know what's going to be coming up at this stage, but look, while this COVID thing's going on, and I'd just like to thank Lee, because I put him on the spot and I said, mate, do you want to come on? We'll give this a try. And look, overall, besides me hitting a few of the wrong buttons, I think
you've done well. You've done well, mate.
I think hopefully it's something that we can sort of improve on. And
no, it's been fantastic, Steve. Don't ask me again.
Yeah, okay. All right. I better say goodbye.
Folks, good night,
Good night to everyone.